Welcome back to another video from the Debate Room podcast. As you can tell by the title, this is our Eastern Conference preview. It is finally time to start talking about the NBA. Honestly, it's been time to talk about the NBA. We have been slacking and haven't got to it. We did just do a draft video, though. That's up on the page right now. If you haven't watched that, go watch that after you watch this. But this is our Eastern Conference preview. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to talk about every team. We're going to answer one question about every team. It's going to be like a broad question to really cover all of our bases about every single team. Then we're going to talk about overrated teams, underrated teams, and then do our standings predictions for the Eastern Conference. Basketball starts in 7 days from the time we record this video. So by the time this drops, it'll be 6 days. We have a lot of work to do between now and then, and this is the first iteration of that. Make sure you guys like the video, share the video, and comment your general thoughts about your NBA team or answer the question we have for your NBA team in the comments. And follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen. Today, we are joined by none other than KD6. If you have watched our podcast, he has been a pretty frequent guest on the podcast, one of our more frequent guests. And every time he comes on, he has something crazy to say. So, as we keep
I got even more today.
I'm excited. Q, as always, is here. Max, haven't seen him in a while. Been busy with school, watching Michigan State lose the football games. I don't know what that's about. But we're all here today to talk about the Eastern Conference. Tomorrow we'll be recording the Western Conference preview and then getting that out probably Thursday. So just stay tuned for the NBA season. We're ready to go. I'm excited for this NBA season. It's pretty wide open, I think, outside of the West. I think we know who's going to win the West, but the East for sure is pretty wide open. So we're going to start with a question for every single team, and we're going to go in order of the standings. So obviously, my Cavs won the Eastern Conference last year in the regular season. I think 64 wins. And so rightly so, they are first. The Cavaliers. My question for you guys and Cavaliers fans alike, are the Cavaliers the favorite to make the finals out of the East? That's my question. I'm going to open up to the panel. KD6, you're the guest, so we'll start out with you.
I mean, the favorites, no, they lost in the second round. So off that alone, they can't really be the favorites. My current favorites right now would be the Knicks. I think that they did get better in the offseason. I think they'll be better just in general with like more time together because they didn't have Mitchell Robinson for like really most of the season. So they weren't able to kind of build that like dynamic, that chemistry with like the double big lineup. So just off that, like I can't say the Cavs are the favorites when one, I think they got worse in the offseason, and two, they lost in the second round. So it's while the Knicks lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. So my favorite's the Knicks.
Q. Oh, go ahead. No, it don't matter. It don't matter. Whoever want to go.
You go Q or me to go?
No, I was going to let you go.
I don't. Latif's going.
My bad. I didn't know it was for everybody, just me.
I personally do not think that there necessarily is a favorite in the East. I think there are a lot of evenly matched teams as it currently stands. But as it does stand, I would probably pick Cleveland to come out of the East. I do think that Evan Mobley is due to take another step up. I think the pieces they have in play currently with getting Lonzo Ball, which they needed more creation on the bench. Again, they lost some pieces, but I don't think anything that's going to be so detrimental. I know Ty Jerome was great, but they still have a big part of their core moving forward. I think Lonzo will help. Larry Nance, I really don't care about. But they both went out of the same team in Indiana. Indiana knocked both these two teams out. I think that when it comes to the playoffs, like, again, it's all matchup based. And Indiana saw both these teams. New York got one more game. So at that point in time, like, it is a kind of a even wash for me. They both got bounced by the same team. So I honestly do think that Cleveland I like what New York did in the offseason as far as getting more depth pieces. They got some experience on the bench for sure. And I think that will help help them out a lot. But I think that Cleveland, with what they were able to put together for the regular season, I think I trust them a little bit more. I think I trust Jalen Brunson's great. Don't get me wrong. Jalen Brunson is probably the best player on these two teams. But Donovan Mitchell, again, I think that in the come playoff time, he showed where he can elevate himself into those categories that Jalen Brunson is in. So I think that I need to see more, especially from these Knicks teams. I need to see more from their help on other sides. I know DG got a little questionable at times, but I think Evan Mobley is the key to this team right now. Going forward, he needs to be the man who steps up, takes on a larger scoring option, and is just the lockdown defender in these matchups. So, again, I think it's tight. I think those two teams should be the favorites with what's happening in Boston with Jason Tatum out, with Indiana having their injuries, obviously. But I would probably slide with Cleveland right now.
The Cavaliers should be the favorite in the East. They would have made the NBA Finals last year if not for injury. If Darius Garland did not get hurt, if Evan Mobley did not get hurt, Donovan Mitchell was banged up, and he had to try to carry the load by himself last year in the playoff series against the Pacers. I understand the Pacers were a great team, and they challenged OKC and took them to 7. But I think the Cavaliers were the same caliber of team. This team is a team that won 60 games last year in the regular season, and the only reason they weren't in the finals again was because they were injured. I think this team is really balanced. Offensively, they were one of the best teams in the league. Last year, they finished around, I think, a league average defense, probably like 14th. But
are offensively, are they not going to get worse though without Ty Jerome? Like, that's a big loss.
Ty Jerome was eliminated in the playoffs, but I mean, he was good in the regular season.
In the regular season, I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't think Ty Jerome is going to really have that drastic of effect on his team. His loss
on their offense.
No, I don't think so. I don't
know. He picked up a lot of the slack when Garland or Donovan Mitchell would go to the bench. And they just don't have that anymore. And do not say Lonzo Ball.
One of my biggest concerns for this team is Darius Garland's injury. Well, he'll be out for probably a few weeks into the season, I think. But they'll be able to stagger Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell really well. If Lonzo Ball is healthy, I think he'll provide good offense and defense off the bench, which that's a big if, obviously. But I'm not really counting on that regardless. I think Tyrese Proctor will have some good impact in his rookie year. I'm that high on him as a player. I think that in his second year, Jalen Tyson will have an impact off the bench as well from this team. But in terms of their matchup with the New York Knicks, now I do think the New York Knicks are in that conversation for favorites. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They beat the Celtics, who no one thought they would be able to beat. I
was on this pod and picked the Knicks, so don't do that.
You definitely did. And what else can I say about so the Knicks, their bench got better as well. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. I think Mike Brown will improve their offense because they weren't able to get like 100% out of the Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson pairing. But at the end of the day, if you have Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns on the same court in the playoffs, the defense is not going to be able to take you to the finals, in my opinion. And the double big lineups, I think that has issues offensively and defensively in terms of them getting beat in transition and stuff like that. So I think the Cavs heading into the season should be the favorites, but the Knicks are definitely a worthy shout for sure, and I think they could make the finals this season. Q, you were next. Who do you have as favorites in the East? My bad. Are the Cavs the favorite in the East part?
The Cavs, they should be the favorites. I think they should be. But I think the Knicks are a better team. I do think that the Cavs have the most pressure to get to the finals this year, only because they get spending a lot of money on like their top four. They've been together for a while, haven't done anything, haven't been out the second round, obviously. The Knicks, they just fired their coach and hired a new coach, so then naturally they get they don't get a pass for this year, but things don't go all the way well for them this year. They're fine. They should be, Mike Brown's second year, whatever. We'll talk about it, in the all season, whatever the case may be. But this Cavs team is the Cavs team that's been there, and they should clearly at least make the Eastern Conference Finals and should be the favorites to win the finals. They have the best player. They would have between the two teams that have the best player. I think they probably have 2 top 15 players on their team. I don't think the Knicks have that. Like I said, I think they have a better team, but I think between Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley, they should always get the edge. The issue for me, I think, is at the wing. But like you said, Jalen Tyson will get a lot more run this year. He's going to be counted on big, especially due to Max Strus being out. Tyrese Parker already nearly he should be getting decent minutes, so that'll help alleviate something. But yeah, they probably should be slight favorites.
Jaden, are you participating? Your camera's off. I guess not. The next team to talk about is the Boston Celtics. They were the 2nd seed in the regular season. My question for you guys for the Celtics is, should the Celtics take a gap year or try to compete until Tatum comes back later on this year? He has said that he wants to play later in the year. Should the Celtics be trying to take a gap year or compete until Tatum comes back? Q, I'm gonna start. We're gonna go back to you.
I think they should take a gap year. I do not care what Jason Tatum is talking about. Between him, Jaylen Brown, who also had a low minor surgery, should be, they should be treating him like, okay, we might not play you the first month or whatever the case may be. They should just be doing that. Somehow, a lot of people think they could still compete with Jaylen Brown and Derek White. I don't know who people think Derek White is in terms of hierarchy of player, but he's just not. He can't be your second best player throughout the regular season and think you're going to be okay, especially with Jaylen Brown, who isn't a complete player in himself. I think they should try to get as best of the draft pick as possible. Obviously, you can still keep Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Jason Tatum when he comes back healthy next year, and then you add a top prospect to this team, a young prospect to go over that core. And I think you should look forward to it, next year and compete then. I just think it would be a waste of time to barely squeak into the playoffs or play in have Jason Tatum coming off an Achilles injury and then trying to ramp him up and go right into playoff basketball for first round, maybe second round or exit. I just don't think it's worth it.
Max, what do you think about the Celtics?
I think with the severity of Tatum's injury mixed with Jaylen Brown also having the injuries he had, I think it would make sense to see what you get out of anything else and kind of rest. But, I mean, again, you don't want to ramp up an Achilles injury like that. But I do think that, again, I don't think this team will be anywhere near the top of the East. But I think this team could easily fight with the mid play-in teams of the Eastern Conference and somehow squeak their way out to anywhere from a 7 to a 10 seed. And if you get Jason Tatum back, again, I think Boston is still a formidable force in the East. I just don't think ramping up an injury on the Achilles is really worth it. So, again, you don't want to re-injure that, give him a full year off. And I think, again, with no matter what the severity of Jaylen Brown's injury is right now, I think if you have the opportunity, because I agree, I don't think Jaylen Brown's a given 1, and I don't think Derek White's a given 2. So you're already going in empty-handed, starting the season, no games played, no nothing. I really do think that this is an opportunity where, I never like to say just punt. I don't like to say just punt on a season, but it would, they got to look at it, I guess.
I'm not gonna lie. If Jason Tatum was completely healthy, I would not take this team seriously. I'm being serious. This roster is all. I would not take this team seriously, even if Jason Tatum was healthy, in terms of actually making the finals.
Look at the team.
Huh?
I said, just look at the team.
Their front court consists of Chris Boucher, Luke Garza, Amari Williams, who I really like actually, and Neemias Queta. Their front court is awful.
It's one where it's just I think as long as they don't come up against
respect Xavier Tillman.
As long as they don't come up against New York or Cleveland, I'm probably taking Boston over these guys. Fully healthy, I'm taking Boston over a lot of other teams in the East.
Their best path is 2023 Mavericks. That's their best. That's their best thing to do. The Mavericks could have squeaked into the playoffs if they really wanted to.
You're saying in getting live.
Let's keep the draft pick. We get live. We add a quality player. Boom, we could skyrocket back to the finals.
I'm just saying.
I think land AJ. We just saw the Hawks get the first round pick, and they had the slimmest of odds. Obviously, in a bad draft. What if that happens to the Celtics and they end up Yeah, AJ.
How
You
good
can't.
some of these teams are, I feel like they still have a chance in that. But I understand. I think with both your
The
top guys out
the
before
Mavs
this
just
season
got
starts,
flagged.
yeah.
I just feel like this is a roster that's so bad. Even if Tatum was healthy, I wouldn't be confident in them making it past the first round. Honestly, this roster is pretty awful, and so since it's pretty awful, they should focus on trying to rebuild Anthony Simon's trade value and try to move him at the deadline for some
For sure.
assets, and try to secure a really good draft pick and draft a high quality player, likely a center, or a four, to really retool. They can retool quickly, but they shouldn't waste this year by just not getting a high draft pick. Because if anything, they can trade that draft pick for a high quality player. If anything, so I think they should be trying to get a lottery pick this year. Could they compete for a playing spot in the East? Yes, because the East is that bad. But I don't think that should be their direction. Katie, what you think?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't even think they got a choice. Like, I don't think this roster is even good enough to actually make the plan, even if they try to compete. It's just not good. Like, I don't. Derek White, like, yeah, he's cool. He's not a two. Jalen Brown is not a one. Like you said, their front court, they have, in terms of talent, they probably have the least talented front court in basketball. Like, it's that bad. The coach, I think, is probably like a bottom 10 coach in the league. Like, he encourages bad habits, which is why they lost to the Knicks. And like, it's just not there's nothing like jumping off the page for the team that's like they can compete if they try. Like that's what is like, I don't understand. People keep saying like, oh, like this team could make the play-in if they want to. Like, no, I don't think they can. I think even if they try to make the plan, they will fail to make the plan.
Can
So
you go in
I
depth
don't think they
about
have a
Just
choice.
split that
Missoula?
in there.
Huh?
Like, what you said, man?
I was saying, can you go more into the Joe Missoula's a bottom 10 coach?
Yeah, like, yo, bro,
I
you just,
think it's so
you
funny
just
that.
said that like matter of
Yeah.
fact,
What's
like
funny?
that was his common knowledge. Like everybody
Yeah.
just knew he was about to say.
Like he's to me a bomb 10 coach. He doesn't like he came in and joined a team. He became the head coach of a team that just made the finals. His like offensive philosophy worked that first year because they were such a good shooting team that it worked out. But then it became clear literally last season that when you just chuck up a bunch of threes, like you're subject to variance. Like you're gonna have games where you shoot 20% from three, or you're gonna have quarters where you shoot 10% from three and you leave doors open for teams to come back on you. And that directly happened in the playoffs. Like it's not even like it's like lazy coaching philosophy. Just go out there, run and put up threes. Like it's not something that I think he like actually goes into the games and really game plans for other teams the way some of these other coaches. And
I agree with that. I don't think they have an offensive philosophy. I don't think they run like a real like he runs like real offenses. Like
a legit
they
offense. Yeah.
they have a bunch of dribble pass shoot kind of guys, or they had a bunch of dribble pass
They
shoot kind
had,
of guys.
yeah,
They
not
had
don't even
nobody
have it
to
anymore.
run an offense. But then once you lose one of those dribble pass shoot guys and another one goes down, then everything starts to look dicey. And then you're putting the ball in the hands of Jalen Brown, who is a good player. He's not a great like an elite, but he's a very good player. I'm not going to disrespect him and say like he's still top 30 type of player. And Derek White, who I get it, Derek White's cool. Derek White is not like a top 35 top, like he's just not that player. So everything's look awful. And then you got Simons, and after that, who we talking about on the team? They talking about, oh, maybe they start Peyton Pritchard. Who do we think Peyton Pritchard really is? Like, who do we like? They don't got these type of guys. Like, they talking about using the development year for Jalen Brown. Develop with what? With who? For what? For why? They're not going to get nowhere with this team.
He still can't dribble left. I promise, like, ain't nothing that's not gonna change from this season. I promise it's not going to.
I don't know about Joe Mazzulla being a bottom 10 coach. I think that, I don't really want to get into that, but I do feel like he's definitely not a
Bottom
bottom
10.
10 coach. I think I'm not sure that even with the level of shooters that the Boston Celtics had, other coaches would have implemented that system in terms of them just getting up all those threes. And it's basically like the manifestation of Morey ball or like that's pretty much what it was. And I think it was a manifestation of the modern NBA, and I really enjoy what they did what they did in 2024. Obviously, it took a step down in 2020, 2025, but like they still pretty much dominated throughout the regular season. And I still think they would have came back against the Knicks. It would take them to go down, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, let's talk about the Knicks though, who lost to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and then Eastern Conference semifinals, and then the Knicks lost to the Pacers. My question for the Knicks is: will they be a threat to make the finals in Mike Brown's first year at the helm? And I think we pretty much already answered this question. But if you guys had anything else to say about the Knicks, we can get to that because it's Mike Brown's first year. Last year, they had an elite offense, but it still felt like they weren't able to get the most out of Jalen Brunson and Karl Towns pairing, especially against the better teams in the NBA. They feasted on some of the worst teams in the NBA. But they weren't able to have that same impact against the elite teams, especially against like the Celtics in the regular season. And then also the defense was not good at all. And we saw that also in the playoffs. So I guess just address some of those concerns and how you think they can change in Mike Brown's first year at the helm. We'll start with KD6.
Yeah, I mean, I think the obvious thing is the coach. Like you have a new coach in, like Tibbs. We all know how Tibbs was. Offense definitely wasn't his specialty. I think he's a great like leader of men and can get guys to buy in. I think that's who Tibbs was. I think Mike Brown is that too. How long that lasts for Mike Brown, I don't know, because it was clear, like at the end of his Sacramento tenure, that kind of fell off. But at least initially, that first year, the entire Kings roster was bottom. I think offensively, they're going to be a lot better. I think it's not even just Brunson and Cat. I think Mikal Bridges is going to be a lot better. I think he's going to get a lot more looks because we see the numbers when Brunson's off, like not playing, and Mikal is able to actually like have more offense, like higher usage ran for him. He puts up really good numbers. I think in a Mike Brown system, he's going to have a lot more of that opportunity. Uh, I think overall, like the team will just function more like a team, especially on top of having Mitch Robinson back in like I want to say healthy because he always gets hurt, so who knows like how long it lasts. But I think that them being able to build kind of that cohesion and build on that chemistry from last season, especially with Cat slotted at the 4, which for him is like I think we saw from Minnesota is really his more natural position. He's more naturally a 4 than he is a 5. And then plus again, Mike Brown. I believe that they are the favorites out the East. I think they going up against any of the teams, I would take them. I don't think that Brunson's the best player between him and the Cavs. I think that's Donovan Mitchell, but I think that they have a better roster capable of beating the Cavs, if that makes sense. I think they match up extremely well with the Cavs. I don't think the Cavs match up well with the Knicks at all. They don't have the perimeter defense. So
In their matchups last year, the Knicks perimeter defense was not good on the Cavs, and I don't think Mikal Bridges is the type of player to be guarding.
Did they have Mitchell Robinson in those matchups?
I don't really think again they're gonna be able to put Cat in actions. They're gonna put Jalen Brunson in actions as well. I don't think Mitchell Robinson changes that.
I mean, he's anchoring the paint. Like if you're putting Cat in actions and Brunson in actions, that means you're gonna have Mitchell Robinson anchoring the paint.
I mean, that's true, but the Cavs superpower last year was their 3-point shooting, and I don't think they still won't be able to guard the 3-point line in that matchup either. I just don't think so. I don't think Mitchell Robinson is going to be able to cover up for Karl Towns' weaknesses. He's not really going to be there. But I don't want to talk much about the Cavs. I'll let Max go in terms of my questions for the Knicks.
I think New York is very, very good this year. Again, I like the depth moves they made just to get experience on the bench. I think Mike Brown will whatever, put that offense to a different level as opposed to last year. But going forward, the defense, when like you saw how bad it was having your two best players on the court together, I don't know what Mike Brown necessarily does to fix that. And again, I understand, like, didn't Mitchell Robinson go through his injuries? Like, I understand there's other ways to go about it, but like overall, when you have your top two players on the court and it ends up being like a negative, I feel like that's a very bad look going forward. So I think that those defensive concerns, and Katie, I understand what you're saying about you think that they have a better perimeter defense against the Cavs, but I don't know who's guarding the paint against the Cavs. Again, like I think you have Mitchell Robinson, but past that, it's nothing. So again, like
I
I
mean,
don't
but
think
who on the Cavs is guarding the perimeter for the Knicks? Literally nobody. Like they traded away their only perimeter defender, and as a core, I guess like you can say Dean Wade, but he's an overrated defender. Like I'm not, and their starting lineup, like who's guarding the perimeter?
I guess my thought process though is just like the Cavs, like they eat at the 3-point line, but they can also slash in the paint. What'd you say, Q?
I was saying
Lonzo.
Like,
I mean, they eat at the 3-point line. We saw that didn't manifest against the Pacers. Like it's
but
when you live or
JB
die
likes
by
to go
the
down.
three. Like
Jalen Brunson likes to go downhill, right? Jalen Brunson likes to get the cup. He can shoot the basketball, don't get me wrong, but he likes to go downhill. And again, once he gets downhill, gets past whoever defender it is, there are guys in the paint who will meet him at the rim. And I just can't
but
say
Brunson doesn't need to score at the rim though. He's very comfortable in the mid range. If he beats
But
his
in the
guy,
playoffs last year, a lot of his stuff, again, there were games where stuff was not falling and he was attacking the rim. I believe it was against Detroit. I can remember a couple times versus Detroit where he just went downhill and attacked because nothing else was falling. I don't know. I really struggle to see, like, again, it's a very, very talented team. And I don't know how they fix that defensive issue with how bad Cat and Brunson are as defenders.
but I don't understand how you can say like fix the Knicks defensive issue, but you still have not told me who's guarding the perimeter on the Cavs. Like they don't have perimeter defenders. We saw
I
the
guess
Bucks.
my
The
thing
Bucks
is,
had good paint defense with Brook Lopez and Giannis. It got them nowhere. Their defense was garbage the entire season. Like, and it was obvious because they don't have perimeter defense. That's the Cavs. Like, it's just Dean Wade.
yeah, and D-Wade just doesn't move me, obviously. But like, yeah, I mean, it is a scary aspect, I guess. Huh? Like you got DeAndre, you brought in Lonzo thinking he's gonna defend. Like, I think D-Mitch is a capable defender. Like, I think he's better than what Jalen Brunson is, obviously. Like, I just think that, like, at the end of the day, I mean, they could somehow outscore their way to a game. And I just don't think that their issues are as big as New York's are. But maybe it's just me. And with New York,
48 and a loss, man. I don't know.
I think with New York, you literally have you don't have like two bad guys in the paint, or two bad guys in the paint, two bad guys in the wing. Your primary, like your point guard and your center in some sets just can't defend. And I feel like that's not sustainable. At least Cleveland has a solid what?
I don't think Cat plays much. I don't think Cat plays much center with Brunson on the floor. I think when Brunson's on the floor, Cat will be the 4 most of the time. When Brunson's off the floor, that's when you slide Cat to the 5 because you don't have that issue of your point guard and your center are both defensive liabilities.
I think you also lose obviously your wing defenders though at that point in time too, and it puts more
They
pressure.
got Bridges and OG, so I mean that, and Josh Hart will be off the bench, which is better for him, and they got other guys, McBride, etc. is a good defender.
The Knicks are amongst the favorites to make the finals out of the East. I don't think that's not a crazy take, and that's clear pretty much. They have a talented team, and we just got to see how Mike Brown, how he's going to differ from Tom Thibodeau. I think we know they're going to be moving the ball a lot more ball movement, a lot more off ball movement. I think we'll see Jalen Brunson off the ball a lot more too this year too, this season. Because Jalen Brunson isn't a bad off ball player. We saw that when he was in Dallas. He just hasn't been utilized like that since he's gotten the reins in New York. Q, any comments on the Knicks before we move on?
Nothing. I pretty much covered it. In terms of defense, I don't think there's nothing to fix there. Not to say that obviously it's a perfect defense, just they don't have the avenues on the team right now to fix that other than hoping Mitch is healthy and starting him next to Cat, and that is their best path moving forward if they want to play Brunson and Cat majority of the time together. Seeing they're the 2 highest paid players, the 2 best players on the team. You'd want your $250 million guy. Well, I don't know if JB's at 50 right now, But your two top paid guys on the floor, you want them to play together. That's what you're paying them for. You seen they tried. Well, last year they tried. Cat started out hot, then it went quickly back to JB. Obviously, you've seen the clips. Mike Brown's trying to move the ball around. I think that's another little wrinkle. They get everybody comfortable in the offense, so that way it's not JB centric all the time. Get him fresher legs, things like that. Like Cat if he learns how to take layups, whatever the case may be. Obviously, they still have the two wings. They built their team to beat Boston. Whether they were going to beat Boston, Tatum was there or not, whatever. But they built their team around being Boston, being able to shoot threes, and have two wing defenders and whatnot. Obviously, they're on the collision course with the Cavs for Eastern Conference Finals. Whether they win it or not, who knows? We just got to see what it looks like. They weren't really able to play up to competition when we seen them last year. Hopefully, this time is different, but like I said, I still expect them. They can have the same problems they had last year to me, and they probably still end up in the Eastern Conference Finals.
All right, another team that's in the Celtics situation since Tyrese Halliburton got hurt in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Hopefully, his recovery is going well. My question for the Pacers is, how competitive could they be without Halliburton as he's gone for the entire year? How competitive will they be this season? Max, you're from Indiana. How competitive will the Pacers? I'm not. No.
You straight out of Gary, I thought.
I live there. But how competitive would the Pacers be this season with Tyrese Halliburton out for the whole year?
I think that they won't be uber competitive as far as one of the top contenders in the East. I think that what we saw last year is this offense will definitely will them to wins. Without Tyrese Halliburton, I still think this team is very talented offensively. As far as moves in the offseason, I think they only got Jay Huff, right? Is that right?
Yes.
They only signed
solid basketball
Jay Huff. They got Cam Jones, maybe. Is that it?
Yes.
They got Ty Jerome.
No, Ty Jerome's in Memphis.
Oh, I'm tripping. You said Jay Huff, and I started thinking Grizzly. Yeah. The Pacers got Jay Huff.
I think this team can be solid when it comes to regular season, but that's about it. I'm not really thinking this team is very strong contenders. Again, Tyrese Halliburton, I think a lot of people underrate him. Tyrese Halliburton, though, is a big part of what obviously moves this team, and that's not shocking to say that. Tyrese Halliburton is super important to what they have going on in Indiana, and I think that obviously that'll mean a lot come playoff time. Again, this is one like Jason Tatum where it's this is a bad injury that you don't want to rush back from. He needs to take his time, and if at the end of the year, with where Indiana's at, if you need to punt, you need to punt. And again, I know we talked about it earlier, but I honestly think that this team, again, offensively will get regular season wins. It'll be a showing of who's going to show out the most between Andrew Nembhard and Benedict Mathurin, and will Pascal Siakam step up even more. A lot of guys will have opportunities to eat on this team. I think that it'll probably be a mid-table Eastern Conference team. I think that they will do probably better than what other people think as far as not having Tyrese Halliburton. But when it comes down to it, that loss will be way too much, and I don't see them even winning a playoff series.
I'll say, I just feel like their goal should not be to be competitive this year. I really don't think it is. In a similar light to the Celtics. Now, I think this team can actually make a playoff spot, make a play-in spot, because the East is that bad and they still have talent on this roster. But they should be trying to get a high draft pick. I think didn't they get their draft pick back from the Pelicans?
Yes.
They got their draft pick back from the Pelicans, so they should
during the finals too.
They should be trying to maneuver their way into a lottery pick and hopefully pick up a center. If you can get a Jaden Clayton or someone like that. I've been saying that, by the way. I've really been saying that. If you can get a high-quality center in this draft class, you can be right back in the mix for a finals when Tyrese Halliburton comes back from his injury. It's no benefit to me, I think, personally, to try to compete this year. Maybe they compete and then the lottery blesses them. It had the tendency to do that over the last few seasons, so that's a possibility. But I want to bank on that. I would be trying to maneuver myself to get a lottery pick, and I'm sure Pascal doesn't want to do this because he's getting up there in age. It's like he don't want to just light a season on fire for sure. So I don't know. He's not going to necessarily agree with that. But If anything, you can see what you have in Andrew Nembhard. You can see what you have in Benedict Mathurin. I still like I like Ben Shepherd a lot. I mean, we know what he is. I think you can see what you have in Johnny Furphy. You can see what you have in what's bro name from Houston. He went to Houston. 6'7" Jarice Walker. You can see what you have in Jarice Walker. Just see what you have in your young players and possibly if they can, if they can grow, if those players can grow when Holly comes back, they can be better players when he comes back. So that should be the move for the Pacers. Do not try to compete. It's not worth it for sure. I think if you have the chance to be a bad team, be a bad team, bro. I'm very pro tanking. I'm very pro tanking. But Q, what do you think the Pacers do this year?
I think obviously they should try to get the highest draft pick possible. Since they got their draft pick, either way they're guaranteed to get some type of player out the draft. I just think they're unlike the Celtics. I think their team is just a better around like their two stars than like what the Celtics are currently. So like you said, you have Nembhard, you have Ben Mathurin, you have Jarice Walker, Obi, you got Neesmith, you got a bunch of players, Pascal. So even if they can pretty much just, I'm not gonna say coast to like a playoff spot, but they can play their game all year. That they're better basketball and make it to the playoffs like without even really trying in this specific East. You have to think about what you got to pay for a Ben Mathurin. You got to think about what you got to pay for Jarice Walker. He's in his third year coming up. His contract year for him. You got first. You got Cam. You got to see what you got in these young guys. So they could try to fake tank by playing those younger guys a lot, just to see what they got, trade some pieces off, things like that, get younger, whatever the case may be. I think that's what this kind of year is going to be, and they probably still end up in the playoffs. As long as they don't make it out the second round or something, like first round, they probably still have a top 20 pick, and they could probably find a impact player in one of those picks. Obviously, I would like them to have a top 5 pick so they could get JQ. I think he fits perfect for them, but if they could get a nice, solid impact wing for them, that'd be cool too.
I can see like JQ slipping like to like somewhere around the lottery because NBA teams are dumb, so they could scam him out of there right there. But Katie, do you agree, disagree with what we've been saying about the Pacers so far this season?
I think they should compete. I think the players they have on this roster are not gonna just tank. They're just not. Like you already said, Siakam isn't, but Nembhard is a competitor. Neesmith is a competitor. Mathurin is a competitor. Like I don't see any of those guys just saying, "Yeah, I'm cool with tanking." Like they just made the finals. It's not to go from just being in the finals to just saying, "Okay, we're just gonna like cruise this season." I just can't see it. I think that they can really build a defensive identity this season with no Halliburton. I think they can really lock in on that end because it's like, I mean, he's the hole on the defense. So it's like, I mean, you can now focus on the defensive end as a team and really build that identity. But yeah, they can build a defensive identity, and they can build that. They can carry that into next season when Halliburton comes back. Rick Carlisle is one of the greatest offensive coaches of all time. So yeah, even though you lost Halliburton, you lost Miles Turner, which is a big offensively, especially those are massive losses. He is still, again, one of the greatest offensive coaches of all time. He will like figure out a way to keep the offense, decent. But defense, I feel like they can really lock in on that end with just the competitors they got. Neesmith, Nembhard, Siakam, Mathurin when he locks in he was clamping Shea in some possessions, like locking him down. So I think that would be my thing. Build a defensive identity.
Like Mathurin Lee lost in the game because Shea was giving him belt down the stretch. Like, what are you talking about?
Mathurin dropped like 30 on Shea. We're not forgetting that.
On Shea. Nah, yeah, he probably was on Shea. He's not really that great.
It definitely was on a good amount of it was on Shea.
I forgot the Rick Carlisle play. Rick Carlisle also isn't gonna just lay down a tank either. He's not that type of dude. He's not built like that.
No, I'm not really talking about what they're going to do. I can see them competing too as well. Like those are very good points. And maybe they can get some lottery luck or whatever. Or this class is pretty good. They can try to grab a player like you said out of that.
You can even try to trade up if there's a guy that Like I don't know. I don't watch like prospects like that, so I don't even know who this Caitness, whatever his name is.
Aiden Quaynes, mind you, what's your
Quaynes.
alma mater? What's your alma mater? By
Oh,
the
he's the
way,
one who went to ASU.
yes.
Okay, I do
Yeah.
know what he
Wait,
is.
Katie, where'd you
Yeah.
go?
I went to Arizona State.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Number one
Uh,
party school in America.
but yeah, those are good points. I think they probably won't do that. I mean, some
Bro,
people are
Doc-
saying like, I'm sorry,
No.
y'all think that what's bro name? Andrew Nemhard is going to be like take a jump this year.
Probably not a jump. I think the jump is going to come from Matherin.
I agree.
If
I agree.
there's people that think there's a small contingent of people that think Derek White can make an All-Star game this year. I think if anybody was to do it, it'd be Andrew Nemhard. I don't
saying-
think that's gonna happen,
Yeah.
but if I had to bet everything I have, anything I will ever have, it's gonna be on Andrew Nemhard and not Derek.
You're
Andrew
saying because
Nemhard
the lack
hasn't
of talent in the
been
Eastern Conference?
Yeah.
Andrew Nemhard has not been good with Tyrese Halliburton off the court, and he's also been pretty mid in the regular season as well.
By design. too.
Yeah, I think part of that Hallie stuff is like the offense is just so Hallie centric, like that it's when he's not there, like everybody else just kind of has to fill in a different role. I think now without him, it's like, okay, Carlisle's actually developing the offense to be, it's going to be more of a motion offense. Like it already was kind of motion offense, but it's still revolved on Hallie. Now it's going to be more like Siakam's going to be operating out the high post a lot, and guys are moving off ball, taking DHOs and whatnot. I think Nemhard can thrive in that a lot, but in terms of jump, I think the jump's going to come from Matherin personally. So that's my dog. Both of them my dogs, but Matherin, that's family. Zopound.
All right, let's talk about the team that eliminated the Pacers. The Pacers eliminated them in back-to-back years in the playoffs. The Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been pressuring the front office. He's going to be evaluating the team this year. So my question is, and I think it's going to be obviously a unanimous answer, but is this a make or break year for the Milwaukee Bucks?
Been that. I don't even think it's to the point I don't even think it's a make or break year. I think the writing's on the wall. I think his bag's already packed. Like he's just waiting for
Unless
the
they
right
win
time.
a championship.
Which I'm sorry, that would take an all-time Giannis carrying masterclass. I think the make or break year is done. It's broke. I think it's just it's a matter of time.
The East is bad enough to where like they randomly could make a run. Like it's not
Who
out
is
the
the
realm
two?
of impossibility.
Who is the two? Who is the Batman? Or sorry,
I
who
mean,
is the
yeah.
Robin to Giannis's Batman in this situation?
I'm not, bro.
Evan Porter Jr.
He is
Right.
not.
Like, who is it?
No disrespect to Giannis. He is not 2018 LeBron James. Like that's the last time we're probably ever gonna see something like that happen in this NBA because the NBA is just too talented and too deep now. Like Giannis is a great player, all-time great player. He's not going to be able to get not with this team. No, not with this team. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah, it would take like an injury, but I mean, hey, like if they end up seeing like let me just look at the standing. So say they see
Orlando round one.
say they see the Hawks round one. I'm comfortable with still saying I trust Giannis to win that series over a young Hawks team with a bunch of guys who haven't made the playoffs, who haven't played in the playoffs. Like Trey is Trey. Like Giannis is the best player in that series by far. Like it. Then round two, say they see the Cavs and somebody's injured, like which is again like as well within the realm of possibility that Garland could be injured or Mobley's nursing something. Like,
But then
there's
is New
a
York
path
injured?
there. No, I mean,
Like that's too, like unless someone on some
Kyle
Mitchell-
Kuzma might lose them a series.
yeah, Kuz could lose the series. But if Mitch is out, Giannis can feast on the Knicks for sure. Like I'm saying it's not like I wouldn't be crazy surprised if they somehow went on a miracle run just because the East is that bad. Like it's not. There's two teams that you comfortably say like if they're healthy, they're dog walking the Bucks. Every other team, it's like maybe you pick the other team, but it's like it's still a series, like at the end of the day. So that's why it's like it's just those two teams. So if something happens to either of those two teams,
Wait. What two teams you saying?
the Cavs
Knicks,
and Knicks.
Like, are we saying in a completely healthy world, Indiana is not an automatic win versus Milwaukee?
No, we're talking about this season. Halliburton
Okay.
won't be
So you're
there.
saying
So
like
yeah,
again, like barring no injuries to like current or future injuries to these players, like
yeah,
during the season, New York or Cleveland does not get injured. Okay.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. But if they do, like, then it's up. That's what I'm saying. So it's, but
Understand.
even so, like, yeah, like Giannis, the writing's on the wall. He's checked out. Like, there was already reports about him going to the Knicks. Like,
That's the only
he,
airport that's like direct to Greece, since his family already lives in Greece full time.
oh,
He's there
yeah,
by himself. So
yeah,
like
but that
being in New
matters to
York is
players.
perfect. Like
Yeah. Like Ben Simmons going to the Clippers, like that was his. It's a direct flight over to Australia compared to Cleveland. You got to fly, like connecting flights to LA then to Australia. Like it's just different. But yeah, I just don't see it for the Bucks.
Yeah, I think it's over. I think they should try to trade Giannis while he is still in his prime and has value. I've held his opinion for multiple years now. I understand the emotional sentiment, but you're not winning a championship anymore with Giannis. His roster is awful. They'll likely make the playoffs just because of how weak the East is and how great Giannis is as a player. And they've surrounded him with shooters at least. But this defense is probably going to be bad. And the roster is just not good. They don't have a good coach. So yeah, it's pretty much not going anywhere. I understand he wants to be in Milwaukee for life, but sometimes things
No, we
change.
don't.
Sometimes things change. Word to Aisha Curry. But Pistons, a year ago, took a massive leap. I think one of the best in NBA history. They were one of the worst teams in NBA history last year. 2 years ago, and then last year they made the playoffs comfortably. Do you project the Pistons to make another leap or for them to stay stagnant this season? Now, their off season, I think they pretty much pretty much broke even this offseason. I like Duncan Robinson. I like Caris LeVert, but they also lost Malik Beasley, who was very important to them, and he may re-sign with the team, but at that point, it's kind of repetitive. So do you think the Pistons will be stagnant or make a jump, KD?
Uh, it's tough. Like I do believe Cade will be better this season. They're
Right?
gonna get Ivy back, which is a positive. Beyond that, the roster doesn't move me. It doesn't move me. The Like I was not high on Ron Holland when he got drafted. I'm still not high on Ron Holland, and I don't think anything's going to change that. Tobias Harris should only be worse because he's older. Like he's like going in, I think, going to be 32 or 33 this year. Jalen Duren, I thought they should have traded, and I still think they need to trade him. Duncan Robinson's like an interesting pickup just because he can do some things that could be good for the offense overall, and his shooting will be nice. But like Asar, I think I like the idea of Asar, but I need to see the actual like that idea manifest somewhat on the floor because it just hasn't. Like the defense is there 100%, the rebounding elite, but the offense just looks so bad at times, and the shooting is atrocious, like genuinely atrocious. That it's hard to really buy into him. So I can't say they're going to take a leap. I don't think they're going to like fall or anything. Um, I think they probably float around the same amount of wins. They won 44 games. I think they probably are around that again this season, and just kind of stagnant, like you said.
Q, fellow
uh,
fellow Pistons fan. What do we think about the Pistons this year?
I agree with the sentiment that they will be stagnant because of the turbulent off season. Obviously, the biggest acquisition that they got back would be Jaden Ivey being healthy. Jaden Ivey has never been allowed to like based on either bad coaching decision or injury luck, whatever the case may be. He never had a chance to have like a full season post rookie year to just like show what he got for 82 games. Something's always happening. Last year he started to hit the stride, and obviously he went out with the leg injury. It's tough because you try to replace the shooting you got out of Malik Beasley with Duncan Robinson. Malik Beasley quietly like Sands Lakers has been 18 points, 20 points per game on solid shooting splits. He had a historic year for the Pistons last year. You're not getting that.
So fake.
No. We talking about Utah Jazz. We talking about Utah Jazz, Malik Beasley, Minnesota Timberwolves, Malik Beasley before they was good. Obviously, those 20 points don't really, but he pretty much did it for the Pistons last year on a playoff team. So it's like, okay, we know this can translate as long as he's getting fed the ball in that type of situation. But Duncan Robinson is not giving you that because he's less of a on the ball play. A lot worse, not a lot worse, but he's worse at attacking closeout and things like that. Still don't have no shooting on the roster. They have to figure out what they're going to do with Ivy and Duran long term because again,
no shooting on the roster.
Huh?
You said no shooting on the roster?
No, he just got done talking about Duncan.
Yeah, it's Duncan, and that's it. For got to think about paying Ivy and Duran, same draft class. What are you going to do with them? Do you trade them? Whatever the case may be. There was some buzz about Lauri Markkanen. I think that helps them. Not enough to make them true contenders, but it does make them a better team, depending on what you have to give up. But yeah, I don't think they're a bad team because they stay stagnant. It's just what had happened for them all season. Plus, other teams just some teams just get better. Like the Hawks might be projected to be better than them. So it's a sticky situation for them. But I don't think that should be looked at as a bad thing for the Pistons because we kind of seen what happened over the offseason.
I think the Pistons' growth this year is very contingent on Jaden Ivey improving, Jalen Duren improving, Asura Thompson improving, Ron Holland taking a leap or something like that. But just because they have those question marks, I think can help or hurt them. I think that we can see an unforeseen jump from them because one of those players drastically improve, or two of those players drastically improve. But if they stay at the same level that they were last year, those players, then they will be around the same level. They were missing Jaden Ivey last year, but Dennis Schroeder came in and filled his position and was pretty good for the Pistons. I don't think that Jaden Ivey point guard minutes were great last year. He still has a ways to go as a playmaker. He still has a way to go, honestly, as a finisher. I think pretty much the only thing he was good at last year was spot up threes, honestly. But because they have those question marks, I do think that they can improve last year without making major moves. Their improvement this year will have to come from in the house. As far as their all-season moves, I think Duncan Robinson adds an off-ball element to this team where he's more versatile than Malik Beasley in terms of cutting back door. He's a smarter passer than him. He just moves, I think, more in general. I think hopefully they can re-sign Malik Beasley to get his team more depth in shooting. Karis LeVert is a fine player. I don't think he's not terrible. He's not great. He provides some of his value, but I think a lot of their jumps is going to just be based on those players improving, and if you believe in those players, and then Cade taking another jump, which he kind of looks primed to do. I mean, it's a preseason game, 26 in the first half. I'm liking what I'm seeing. But I think that our improvement this year will come from improvements in the house, man, not from anybody that they would have got in the offseason. So I think this is a big year for the Pistons because they have to evaluate the talent on their roster and how much of this young core will be important going forward. Because Jaden Ivey's up for an extension, Jalen Duren is up for an extension, or so Thompson is going to be up for an extension here pretty soon. So they have to evaluate these pieces and their draft picks and see if they're ready to go with them in the future. It's going to be a very, very big season for those 4 players. And so I think they'll have to improve in order to earn those contracts, which could be beneficial for the Pistons' overall improvement, if that makes sense. Max, give me your thoughts on the Pistons.
I don't got much. I agree with you guys. I guess I agree more with Q and KD. I think that it'll be more of a stagnant year. I've never been a Jaden Ivey guy. I also don't think he's really gotten a fair shot to really perform in the situation. So I think you got to see him in this kind of organization, in this kind of environment. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt on that. I think that the East just got worse in general. So I think there will be more winnable games. I think there will be more of an opportunity for them to jump in the standings potentially if they put it together. I would probably put them. I think I have them around maybe a 5 or 6 seed again this year. I think that they will be competitive in the regular season if they stay healthy. But yeah, I mean, like I don't think their offseason moves are crazy off the board. I thought this would be a team that would go out and spend more money, but they like their guys apparently. I think that it is just a case of if their young guys can take another step, and the East is already worse, so they can win some of those games. If you can beat Boston, even though they did last year, beat the Bostons, beat Indiana's, beat Milwaukee's while they don't have their star players out there. That's 4, 5, 6 more wins that you can then put on to what they had 48 last year, 44.
44.
So you can push that maybe to a 50-win team, and it looks a lot better by comparison. But again, I agree. I think it will be, for the most part, a mid to upper placement in the Eastern Conference.
Let's talk about Orlando. They had one of the best off seasons of any team in the entire NBA. For starters, they drafted Jace Richardson, so that's a very good start. Then they got Desmond Bane, obviously, Tyus Jones. They picked up Noah Penda as well. They just did a lot of stuff that will lead to them being a better team, I think, this year. My question for the Orlando Magic is how much impact will Desmond Bane's addition have on their offense? Because I think a lot of people think their offense is going to take a big jump this season, considering they got Desmond Bane, one of the best shooters in the NBA. Very good. He's also pretty good with the ball in his hands. Good off the ball. He can attack the rim. I'm sorry, KD.
Oh no.
KD. How much will Desmond Bane's addition impact the Orlando Magic's offense?
It's going to have a massive impact. Like, there's no way around it. The Magic needed 2 things desperately. Number 1 was shooting. Number 2 was playmaking. He brings number 1 like in droves. Like that's his calling card is shooting, and he is good at number 2. Like, he's not great. He's not like a world beater playmaker, but he can play make when he needs to, and that's really like kind of what the Magic need. The Magic want the ball to be in Paolo's hands and Franz's hands, so that like they don't really want a true point guard that you have to like start and that really needs the ball like every possession. They want a guy like Desmond Bane who is going to knock down threes, and when you need somebody to kind of do some ball handling, do some playmaking, run a pick and roll, he can do it. He has the capability, and so he's just overall versus Kamal Malawash just blocked 8 at the rim. No, what was this? So like he's gonna have an immense impact on the offense. I expect a lot less stagnation. There'll be times when the offense just gets stagnant. It turns into Franz iso ball, it turns into Paolo iso ball, and doesn't result in anything, especially down the stretch of games. I think he's just gonna offer so much more dynamically to the offense as a whole.
Max, how much do you think that Desmond Bane will impact the Orlando Magic's offense? Because they were one of the worst offenses in the league, not the worst half-court offense in the league last year, bottom 10. They added 1 player pretty much. I think Jace will have a pretty good impact. Tyus Jones.
I like Tyus Jones. I've been saying this all offseason. I think Tyus Jones is a great pickup for them.
Steve is a Tyus hater for whatever reason. I don't know.
I've been high on Tyus Jones being a play creator there. You get Jace, you get Desmond Bane.
Play creator? Okay, slow down. He's a table setter. I need you to slow down. He's a table setter.
He can start the offense at this point in time. They didn't have that last year. Honestly, and this will I don't know what to think of the Magic come playoff time. That can be a bridge we could talk about later. I think Orlando could potentially be considered as one of the most complete teams, especially in the Eastern Conference. I think they have a ton of shooting, they have a ton of scoring, they have a ton of defense. With all that being said, though, I think that when it comes playoff time, I can't trust them. So I think they have defense, they have rim pressure. It is just so
Can't
contingent.
trust them.
They're so contingent on Paolo Banchero to be the guy, in my opinion. This is not necessarily a pressure season for Paolo. He's young, he has a long career ahead of him. But I think there's a lot on Paolo this year. I think that it seems like they added shooting, they added playmaking, they have defense, they have scoring. Like they have everything you need at this point in time. I just don't know how it's necessarily going to be put together. The team looks great on paper, but I just don't know if I can really trust it going forward right now. So this is a team I need to see play out. Again, I think that the Paolo, Franz, Desmond Bain, it sounds fun. It sounds good. Still think they overpay for Desmond Bain, but I just don't know how it's going to look, and I really can't buy into that quite yet. So again, I think this team sounds good, and I think it looks good on paper, but I have worries about, I guess, how this team will actually play out when it comes down to the season. So again, I think regular season wise, they'll get wins. I think they'll be a good regular season team. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. But when it comes down to who is actually going to compete in the East, who is actually top teams in the East, I have still large concerns about how this team's going to look on the court.
Man, let me see. I'm looking something up right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This team was the sixth worst offense in the entire NBA last year. I would assume their half court ranking was much worse. Now they added Desmond Bain, who I think, as Katie said, adds ball handling. I think he adds shooting for this team. They added Tyus Jones to be to run bench lineups and stuff like that. I'm very high on Jace Richardson. Hopefully they can utilize him as well. But I'm not sold on this offense. I'm just not at all. I think at best they're going to be around league average. At best. That would be an incredible jump for them. Desmond Bain is a great player, and I think injuries had a little bit to do with that as well. So we have to factor it in terms of how bad they were offensively. But let me check when they.
Well, at best is crazy. What's the floor then?
Oh, they would just probably be. I don't think their floor. I don't think their floor in their showing is that far away offensively. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see.
That don't even make sense.
How their floor and their showing offensively don't got to be that far away from each other.
Like you use they were number 6 last season, sure, but what was
they were
with Paolo and Franz? Oh yeah, you said 6 worse.
The year before, I can look that up, but the year before that, they were still a bottom 10 offense.
That the year before, very different. That their offense was horrible, but they were a way better team than anybody expected them to be that season.
I agree. I think this team is obviously going to be still defense oriented. I don't think the spacing is going to be great whatsoever. Still, regardless, Desmond Bain helps. Jace Richardson helps. Tyus Jones, I think helps. He shot 40% from 3 last year on like 5 attempts.
He's like a career 40% shooter.
I don't think it's that high. I'll be surprised if it's that high. But I think their offense is still going to be an issue, especially in the half court. I don't think. Unless Paolo and Franz have figured out how to effectively play together, I think it's still going to be a struggle. Wendell Carter Jr., not high on him whatsoever, offensively or defensively. I mean, he's a fine player, but he doesn't help their spacing. I think their spacing outside of Desmond Bain in a starting lineup, unless Jalen Suggs returns back to where he was a few seasons ago, it's just going to be pretty bad. I still think it is. So I think that could still be an issue. I think this is going to be a team that wins because they're going to dominate defensively, a la the Houston Rockets this year. But again, the spacing in their lineups are still not going to be great. It's just not. Also, I'm not high on Mosley as a coach offensively either. So it's like the combination of all that, I'm just very skeptical about their offense, especially come playoff time. Regular season wise, they'll be able to get wins off of their defense, but I think they'll probably be league average offensively. Now that's an incredible jump. It is, but we'll see. Q.
Yeah, I understand you harping on the offense. Again, even if it's league average and they still put out a top 10 defense, that's
Yeah, that was a question though. That was my question.
What?
How much will Desmond Bain impact them offensively? I think they're.
if they're going from a bottom 10 offense to a middle of the pack offense, I think that's a decent sized jump. Is it worth if it's worth what they gave up for him? I don't think so in terms of like pure value.
It's got to be at least 10 spots to be worth what they pay for him.
Yeah. So
I think it'll be more than Desmond Bain though.
If they land at 15,
it'll be more than Desmond Bain.
If they get to 15, sure, whatever the case may be.
It'll be more than Desmond Bain. Like again, I think like Jalen Suggs. I think if he can return, I think it's a good chance he returns to where he was a few seasons ago as far as shooting. Just because he'll be off the ball more. He'll be healthy, I think. And Tyus Jones is a solid backup point guard. Jace Richardson again. Tristan Da Silva can potentially be good this year.
He did not have a good rookie season, shooting wise at least.
Yeah, so Anthony Black, I'm still bullish. Still bullish.
That ship has sailed.
No, it's not. It hasn't. Not yet.
I'm not in specific late clock situations. Desmond Bain will show his value for them or for this team. Sure, it's still contingent on what Franz Wagner, whatever his name is, and his second option do. Together on the team. I'm not really sold on
what? I tried to sneak that in there. These second option, Franz Wagner.
No, for real. I don't like the Wendell Carter, Jonathan Isaac situation. I think they need to upgrade from those two. Like I understand Jonathan Isaac is a great defender. But him and Wendell Carter, they're not doing it for me for this team. I think to make a real impact, they have to upgrade in those two specific areas. But I think this year offensively, like I said, if they get to average, that's a major improvement along with a top 10 defense. They would be a clear playoff team and should scare anybody. Should win a first round series at least. Like that, they have to get at least a first round, get out the first round this year for what they gave up for Bain, which I think they can. Borderline, all-star adjacent player, great shooter, catch and shoot, with the dribble, close out, can relocate, things like that. Especially when the offense gets sticky, you can just dump it out. He can just get a shot up quick. I think that'll help them a lot in that aspect. But they still need everybody else to take their own jumps as well.
All right, Atlanta Hawks. I think again they had a really good offseason as well in terms of asset acquisition, getting picks, getting players. New look Hawks be contenders in the East. I'll start with you, Q.
Contenders, no, I think that's a little bit too rich, but I think they will. I think this probably will be Trae Young's best year of his career. I think there should clearly probably be a top playoff lock team this year. Everything is basically kind of going all in. Trae doesn't have a contract extension. I think they're trying to see what they got for the team, and like I said, probably top of the East, close to it, something like that. In terms of contending for a championship, I just don't think they're there yet. But I think this year they're just trying to see if Trae Young can be that guy. This team with this makeup and things like that. I think they're missing one more offensive creator, whether it's Steph or for the team. But yeah, they probably have a very good season.
Max, talk to me.
I actually like Atlanta this year. I think Atlanta's a very fun team. I think that's about it right now. I think Atlanta, if I was an Atlanta Hawks fan, I would be very much looking forward to this year. I think they have a solid starting five. Again, Dyson Daniels was a very pleasant surprise last year. If KP can stay healthy, you sign Nikhil, Jalen Johnson gets back. you kind of like what you saw with Reece Sachet. Like, I think you got a pretty fun team in Atlanta. Like, I think it could be a team that's like Detroit of last year, where they're pushing, again, regular season. Maybe they have a good regular season. They push to a 4 or 5 seed, see where it goes. I think that this team overall is just, I'm not going to say high vibes, but the roster is fine. I think that Trae Young will have the most help he's ever had. And I think that'll bode well for a good year for him. Maybe an all-star starter appearance. Who knows? I'm trying to think of what guys are out in the East, but for a guy that's always snubbed in the All-Star game with Tyrese out, I think it's the perfect alley for him to be one of the best point guards in the Eastern Conference this year. So I really do think that Atlanta will be a fun team this year. Again, I don't think it'll mean that they have playoff success. Maybe they win a series, they get a good matchup, but I think that Atlanta should be. I will be watching Atlanta Hawks basketball this year. I think the team will be fun. I think they'll be winning good games.
I don't think the Hawks are going to be contenders in the East. I do not. I think they're getting a bit overrated this offseason. This team is still a team that does not have creation outside of Trae Young. And with Trae Young in the lineup defensively, it's just always going to be an issue, despite the length and athleticism that they put around him. KP's health is a very big question. Jalen Johnson has gotten banged up, but they don't have perimeter creation outside of Trae. They don't have half court creation outside of Trae, and that's going to be their downfall, I think, come playoff time. Honestly, I think it will be, and I think this is a make or break year for the Hawks. I mean, Trae is looking for an extension. He only has one more year on his contract after this. This is Kristaps Porzingis' final year of his contract, and they may have a very high draft pick going into the draft. So this is a make or break year for Trae Young and the Hawks. They haven't been able to come to a meeting point on his deal, and just the makeup of this team, in terms of their two best players in KP and Trae, or at least right now. I think Jalen Johnson can be better than KP going forward.
He's better now.
I mean, if we get 2024 KP, he probably not.
I don't know why you would think that you're getting that, to be honest.
I'm just saying if
I agree.
He had one down year. Now,
might be better than Mobley if you're getting that, KP.
Anyways, so I think that, again, yeah, they're getting a little bit overrated, I think, in terms of the Eastern Conference talks. I don't think they're a contender in terms of actually making the finals, because I think there's a ceiling on a Trae Young led team, I think, personally. So that's pretty much what I got to say. I don't think they're contenders. Who has Q? You haven't went, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Huh?
What's up,
No,
Oh.
I still gotta go. It's
Okay.
yeah, I agree. I don't think they're contenders. But I disagree with you saying that it's a make or break it year for the Hawks and Trae. I think it's a make or break it year for Trae specifically, because I think right now the Hawks are content with moving on without Trae. I think they have a young core that they're good with going into the future. They got assets. They got that Pelicans pick, which is probably like it has a good chance of being valuable given Zion's health history. So I think the Hawks would be content with moving on without Trae going forward. So it's not like a make it or break a year for them by any means. But for Trae, it is. Like Trae has to show that he's capable of leading a competent team. Like he's capable of leading a capable team to some type of like playoff success. He did it back in whatever that was, 2021. But that like since then it's been pretty much nothing. And so I think for him it's very much like you have a roster that's capable of winning a good amount of games. If you're healthy in the playoffs, you could win a series. I wouldn't pick them to win 2 series, but you could maybe make it a second series competitive. But if you go out there and like you get embarrassed in like the first round or something, I think the Hawks would be fine moving on without Trae Young, and would be like exploring options to get rid of him. So
Q, do you think the Hawks can be
I
contenders in
went
the
first.
East? Oh, my bad. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I might have walked away. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Next up, the Bulls. I was really struggling with creating a question here.
Next.
this is the next team.
Yes.
Nah,
The Bulls. Yes, they finished. I think ninth. What should be the Bulls' goal this season? Max, you're a Bulls
Develop
fan.
Modest Buzelis. That's it. Develop
answer.
Modest. And hope that you didn't completely sell on drafting Noah Essingay. I think that
they
you gotta
did.
develop. That's it. Like you gotta
They gave Giddy $100 million.
yeah, right. 25
Yeah.
years, 23
Yeah,
years.
listen, we can move on to the next if y'all want to.
I like Modest last year. Keep going Modest. That's all I have is Modest Buzelis season.
Yeah, like I'm with you. We can let it move on. You are never contending with a core of Giddy, Kobe White, and Matas. I like Matas, but
They
he's
could have
a role
moved off
player.
Kobe. I think Orlando wanted Kobe White for like
Before
Oh
Bane.
yeah,
second round
Did
pick
not-
or something like that.
They went
and
for
he
before
should have been
Bane,
cheaper
right?
too. Yeah, I don't think the Bulls want to deal with Orlando because they fleeced the crap out of them with that with the Vucevic
Vucevic.
trade. So yeah,
I mean, that trade just crashed. It crashed and burned for them because like due to like injuries and things like that, they just went all in on the wrong guys. But yeah, the Bulls just see what you got in Modest, see what you got in Noah, and that's it. I don't think there's much to do with anything. They don't really have no direction. They're stuck in mediocrity. Got a bunch of guards on their team. Paid Patrick Williams like 80 million, something like that. They're just trying to figure
he
out.
might not even start for them. Like
Yeah, they just got to figure out
yeah.
what's their next piece after Modest.
Their
Yeah,
goal,
you need a guy to build around.
their goal this year should be, I think, just to get the best pick possible. Honestly, we don't have to spend much time on them. The Bulls don't deserve much time spent on them. I think Giddey had an interesting stretch last year.
That's your team.
I mean, yeah, Chicago. I'll watch them. The Giddey will be able to create some fun, efficient offense. He was able to create some fun, efficient offense. That'd be fun. Getting out in transition, maybe some lobs, Noah Single in transition. Modest is a really great transition player. That's where it is, though. I think they should be trying to get a Cam Boozer to come back. Get the Boozer family to come back to Chicago. They should be trying to get Darren Peterson, the second coming of Michael Jordan.
They're gonna end up with Cam's little brother.
What?
Is he the bigger brother or little brother? I don't
What?
even know.
No, Cam is the little brother. Caden is the bigger brother. You heard me.
They're gonna end up with the bigger brother.
You heard what I said. Darren Peterson, the second coming of Michael Jordan. Get him back in. Get Michael Jordan back in Chicago.
We just had to ignore that.
What?
More likely to be second coming of Derrick Rose.
He's Michael Jordan, but like without the athleticism. So like he's not that athletic. But
Michael Jordan without like what made him Michael Jordan.
No. He's still very athletic. He's just not one of the best athletes ever. That's what I'm saying.
So he's DeMar DeRozan. That's what you're telling me.
We way better defensively.
Well, it sounded like
Okay.
We way better defense.
What's his Miami?
day off P.
Next up is the Heat. Can a new look Heat? I'm sorry, no. How much would Tyler Herro's injury affect the beginning of the Heat season? Is my question.
I don't want to be disrespectful. I like Tyler Hero, but
Very good
I
last
don't
year.
think his impact is that important. As like, I don't think him being there makes a break because they got Norman Powell back. I think like he could do some of that scoring type situation. Obviously, Norman Powell's not a great playmaker. He's not a defender, but Tyler Hero is not a defender anyway. I think the Heat are also in a spot where they're kind of stuck. I think they need a kind of soft reset. So I don't think the Tyler Hero injury, like I think it'll do them more good than bad, just by like, making them start slow, and then they're going to be too deep in a hole to dig themselves out of in this Eastern Conference. So it's not. I think they should just like start selling stuff off, try to rebuild around, I guess, healthy hero and get back in band before he gets too old to like actually impact winning anymore.
Max, how much will Tyler Hero's injury hinder the Heat season this year?
I don't care at 10. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Free Bam. Get Bam off this team. I love Bam Adebayo, and he's stuck on Miami. Yeah, this is the same. It's the same story every year. So how much is Tyler Hero's thing going to hinder it? It won't. This team is
This is
going
a
to
guy
be.
that averaged 25 and 5 last year on very good efficiency, and you guys start talking about him like that. He was on list with LeBron and Jokic, and y'all talking about him like that. This is crazy right now.
Thaddeus Young was on a list with Magic Johnson and
I'm just. What was your question? What was your question though?
How much was his injury hindered the Heat's beginning to the year?
Exactly, and I agree. I still think that Tyler Hero he's a fine basketball player, right? He's a top, I don't know, top 50 basketball player, top 40 basketball player. So
no, too far. Keep going up.
I mean, you're saying he's in the list with LeBron, so you probably have him top 10. I just don't think that really means much to Miami's season. Miami does not have pieces. They're not going to be a contender. They don't have Jimmy Butler anymore. So Miami is not anything right now, which, again, Tyler Hero, obviously he makes an impact when he plays, but not a big enough impact to really make me think twice about this team.
You got to cut this Jimmy Butler nonsense out.
Tyler Hero's injury will have a positive impact on the Heat start to the season because it's gonna allow all the other players to get going.
Who was all the other players?
He's a vampire. I mean, you got Bam, Khalil Ware is a great preseason. You got Norman Powell. You got Andrew Wiggins. Like, hey, they're all gonna be able to get going. And Tyler Hero's a vampire. Like, he sucks up offense, so they're gonna be better off.
I don't want to give my offense in the hands of Davion Mitchell and Andrew Wiggins. I would rather give the offense in the hands of Tyler
I didn't say Davion Mitchell. I said
Andrew Wiggins.
Bam, Khalil Ware, Norman Powell, and then Andrew Wiggins. I mean, they're
But I'd rather
going to
have
be
a
a defensive team. Like, it's not like they're not going to be offensive focused. Like, they will be defensive slanted for sure.
Who they lose? Who they give up in the trade that got him back Norman Powell?
I can't even remember. It wasn't
John
anybody
Collins
good.
deal. John Collins deal.
Yeah,
right?
John Collins went from Utah. Kevin Love went to Utah.
Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson.
And Kyle Anderson,
Kyle Anderson too.
They're fine. Their 25-point per game scorer is out. They traded and got 23
another one. Scorer. Damn near. Yeah, like
they just have no bench. They got no depth.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's the Miami Heat. Like that has never been a problem. They pick up random bums off the street and they perform. Like that's never been an issue.
It's 10 names. Instead of doing teams for stock up, stop down, I'm going to do players. Is 10 names too much, or should I just do 5?
6.
Okay.
Depends on the players.
Yeah, they'll say if we roll through them quick versus if we're going to talk about them for 10 minutes.
Okay. Next team, Heat. Yeah, I mean Tyler Hero, very good player last year. I think Norman Powell, the addition of Norman Powell is going to help them fill his absence until he comes back, and then I think Khalil Ware can also take a leap this year as well. So I think that'll be fine. Next is the Raptors. Can the Raptors make a playoff push this year after adding Brandon Ingram?
Be serious.
I'm asking.
Be serious. Absolutely not. Yeah, that roster, I don't care like the talent that you have like name wise, it's nasty. It's absolutely nasty. Like my God, and I'm like a Carl Murray Boyle stan, and I don't believe like that they drafted him thinking like he's what the roster needs, like fit wise. Like defensively, he's the best defender on the roster, like that's stamped. But like offensively, he does not fit with Scotty Barnes. Like he doesn't fit with Jakob Poeltl, like the Scotty Barnes like tandem. Like he can't insert into a front court with the three of them. That just doesn't work. Like I don't know what they're thinking. It's gonna be free CMB until Scotty gets traded or something like that. That's been my Discord name for since since summer league has been free CMB. So shit, like they're not making no playoff push. They'll win games for sure, just like the same thing you said, like with the Bulls, like Giddy and them, they can like run and gun type offense. They're gonna be able to do that, but yeah, no, they're not making no playoffs.
What do you think? Q, aren't you like a Brandon Ingram fan? I think a little bit. No, okay.
No, I'm not a Brandon Ingram fan. I interjected on a argument that you and Jaden were having because you harped on Brandon Ingram not taking a bunch of threes as if him taking 7 threes is so much drastically different than him taking 9. And I just interjected to say like him taking 6 threes, 6.5 threes is good enough. That's all it was. Somehow me defending a person for specific things make me a fan. I don't know where we got that. Like
you are a Dak Prescott fan though.
Well, I'm not a Dak Prescott fan, but people lied about Dak Prescott. You was one of them.
But you're not a Dak. You're not being a Dak fan is crazy. I thought you were a Dak fan this whole time.
You really like Dak Prescott.
Keep that going, Katie. Keep that going. Q is a huge.
You don't really like Dak Prescott, bro.
It's not that I don't like Dak Prescott. I'm not like
we have this debate all the time.
Like, I don't treat Dak Prescott how I treat Josh Allen. Like I don't.
Q is not a Dak fan.
I treat Kyler Murray how I treat Josh Allen because I'm a Kyler Murray fan. I just think Dak Prescott is way better than what people were trying to portray. That don't make me a fan.
Q, you don't like the way people disrespect him, so you like take up the mantle to defend him. Yeah,
pretty much.
All this stemmed from me and Q arguing about Dak Prescott one time, and that I just kept running with it as he's a Dak Prescott fan.
And who won?
It's stuck on.
Lakers running Spain pick and roll.
I don't remember who we were arguing about. It was Dak Prescott versus another quarterback.
But
bet it was like Geno Smith.
No. Only one person on this panel has ever argued for Geno Smith.
Top 10?
Jared Goff versus Geno Smith.
I don't think they can make the playoffs. I think they're kind of built like the anti-Pelicans, just a bunch of players that could do certain things, but they don't necessarily fit together. I think their roster doesn't fit, just like how the Pelicans don't fit. But to tell they're gonna have to move. Obviously, they're gonna have to move over pieces. Maybe they could be a Giannis destination, possibly. I don't know what Toronto's airport is like. I don't know if they have direct flights to Greece. If they do, that's a decent spot. You got to move over RJ. You got a bunch of wings, some guards. You got Mayo quickly making $40 million. Jakopoto's not the center that you want, especially if you're going to draft CMB. Things just don't click. They might be able to win games that they weren't supposed to, but all in all, they're not going to make the playoffs. I just think they doubled on things that they didn't players that they didn't need to.
Yeah, Raptors just have a roster. That's the best way I can describe it. They have a roster in NBA. It's a lot of players that don't make sense together at all. The spacing is going to be terrible. They have like this defensive identity that they're developing now, which I think can help them win regular season games. But this roster is just players on a roster. Like they don't fit whatsoever. And they're not necessarily talented players either. They're just a bunch of players like on a roster. That's how I feel about the Raptors. I don't know exactly what they're trying to accomplish this year. They're paying a lot of money for a roster that's not going to be nearly as competitive as it needs to be paying all this money. They have no direction. If they sneak into the playoffs, they're losing in the first round. Like the future doesn't seem overtly bright, to be honest. And the players on the roster again just don't make sense. They don't make sense. They don't make sense together. I don't know what they're doing. They got me stumbling over my words because it just don't make sense.
They also paid Ingram like $45 million. I've never seen them play a minute with this team.
Yeah, RJ Barrett has to get off this roster pretty quickly. They overpaid quickly. Like it's just bad. It's pretty bad. That's
there supposedly is a flight from Toronto to Greece. Just saying. Just looked it up. Supposedly there is a straight flight. I guess all I would say is I at least want to see Brandon Ingram on this team. I'm not saying I'm gonna be high on him. I am like slightly intrigued, but I think that again the backcourt of Quickly and RJ Barrett, the fit of those two, also then with Scotty Barnes, does seem gross. But I do at least want to see it play out. I'm like slightly intrigued. I think this team will get regular season wins. Honestly, I do think this team makes the playoffs with getting these regular season wins and the teams that are not currently competing. I think this team has a good chance to sneak in the playoffs. I guess I just need to. I don't want
Good
to be high
chance
on
is
them.
crazy.
I'm intrigued. Huh?
Good chance is crazy.
I think they sneak as like a 9 or a 10 seed, and then I think they slow.
Okay, that's playing. That ain't playoffs.
I guess I'm just saying I think they win the spots and they kind of go into the playoffs. No, they're not a top 6 seed in my mind, but I do think they could grab a playing spot and fight for a 7 or 8 seed.
7 or 8 seed, I don't know about that.
I mean, like they could make the play in, but that's like the East just sucks. So
fall for it easy.
All right, next team up is the Brooklyn Nets. It's another team like the Bulls. What should be their goal this season? Five first-round picks. Nobody is too excited about them. I will say though, I think their best first-round pick is going to be Drake Powell. I think he has the brightest future of any of their first-round picks, just as a 3-and-D guy who can possibly be an actual impact player for a competent team. Now, I don't know when the Nets will be a competent team, but his athleticism, ability to knock down threes and defend as well could be a valuable asset for a team that's actually serious. Now, it's going to take a long time for this team to get serious, but one day they will get there. And I think Drake Powell will be their best rookie from this class to do so. That's all I got to say. Huh?
I said they needed to draft Khan so they could be a serious team.
Yeah, that's true. If they would have drafted Khan, they would have been there already. But I think he was on the board.
Yeah, I know. Real though, the Nets obviously went into the draft, did something stupid, which in drafting all 5 players, which I'd never been done before. But all 4 out of their 5 players fit the same mold, passing the ball. So they made an emphasis to get players that can pass the ball. I don't know what that says about the players on their roster, but they clearly were looking for players that can pass the ball. They gave Cam Thomas got like $8 million or whatever the case may be, whatever they gave him, which is like, I'm not the greatest Cam Thomas like fan, but $8 million is fake crazy, especially if you got players of his archetypes out there getting $30-40 million. You got MPJ, Cam. I think that's just gonna be 40 shots, maybe 45 shots put up between the 2 of them. So they're gonna need somebody to get them those shots, and that's all 4 of their 5 draft picks pretty much are gonna be able to do. They're gonna lose a lot of games this year, and then hopefully probably bringing some type of top end player into the draft from the draft next year, and that's it. Future is not bright for them in my opinion, for at least the next 2 years. So they're like in the Bulls area for me.
Max KD, what's the goal for the Nets this season?
Hope that someone wants to trade for Cam Thomas or MPJ. That's about it. I don't have much. I think they should be sellers. I think you should sell Nick Claxton. Any non-young guy with value, I think you should be trying to sell. Stock up as many picks as possible and try and grab a top dude in this class.
Yeah, you sell and Michael Porter Jr. Pray you can find a buyer for him because like don't get me wrong, I like Jordy Fernandez a lot as an offensive mind. I think he runs a really nice system, but he has players currently that would disrupt that system, and that's MPJ and Cam Thomas, obviously for obvious reasons. And so, if you find a way to move them out, then it's like, I mean, you can play some, fun young basketball. You're not going to be good, but you can play some fun young like system basketball. But beyond that, I mean, like I don't know how you go into a draft with 5 first-round picks and you somehow fumble it. Like that's just crazy to me. Like, but we'll see what their guys got. Like odds are on their side. Like one of them got a hit, so we'll see. Yeah, that's it.
All right, 3 more teams left. Next, 76ers. This is a more interesting team. Can the 76ers make a run in what we deem to be a wide open Eastern Conference? Let's discuss. I think this team just because of how great I think Joel Embiid is. If Joel Embiid is healthy, I think this team can make the Eastern Conference Finals. That's how great I think Joel Embiid is, and I know he's had his playoff struggles, but I don't think that Paul George is just magically an awful player. I think he was playing injured last year, which really hurt them. If Joel Embiid and Paul George, the biggest if probably ever stated, can stay relatively healthy, a la Kawhi Leonard last year in the Clippers, this team can be ultra competitive in the East. Now, they do not have great wing defense. They don't have a power forward, and their overall depth is not great whatsoever. But I think that highly of Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George, along with Quentin Grimes. I like VJ Edgecombe. That pretty much is kind of where it ends. I like Adem Bona off the bench as a backup center. I think he's very underrated. But yeah, I think this team, just based off how great I think Joel Embiid still is, if he's healthy, can be a threat in the Eastern Conference if they can stay healthy. Now that's obviously a big if, but they will be able to do it. They have obvious flaws, probably not enough ball handling or playmaking either. They have very, very glaring issues. But in this Eastern Conference, if they're healthy, they can get it done. Might win. Not the championship, but
assuming health, I think this team could be the biggest wrinkle in the Eastern Conference. Fully healthy Joel Embiid has an argument for the best player in the conference. Paul George, if he could get back, if he could just get back to like 80% of what he was last year in the Clippers, then that's a very good player. Tyrese Maxey, with Joel Embiid on the court, is a better player than without him on the court. Obviously, he's more efficient, more impactful. VJ Edgecombe does add some athleticism and defense to the backcourt and on the wing, so like that helps him out. I just think this team is very Joel Embiid reliant, and as long as he's on the court, we know what he's going to do. He's one of the best players, just averaging a point a minute. Basically like a year or two ago. So I think as long as they're healthy, they should be top of it, top 4 seed in this conference. But again, health is a big scare for not just him, but Paul George on this team as well. So we just gotta wait and see, take it game by game.
Katie, you're a known Joel hater.
And Paul George hater, both. Don't forget that.
No way.
Yeah, no. I'm not moved by the Sixers at all. Like, yeah, I mean, they can definitely be a good team in the regular season for sure if they have health and like said, Paul George gets somewhat back to being Paul George. But yeah, I mean, playoffs come around, they're both chokers. Embiid has never made it out the second round for a reason. He consistently underperforms in the playoffs. He can't stay healthy. Paul George consistently underperforms in the playoffs, consistently does not show up in big games. So the fact that those two, Maxey, that's a clutch client, that's my guy. But I don't know, it's dark for me in Philly right now. I think Embiid his value as a player has tanked badly because of the contract and because of his health. To where 2 years ago he was an MVP candidate and MVP, and now it's like what teams would even trade for that contract without seeing like him put a whole season together being healthy. But he's out there talking about I'm never playing back to backs again. So it's like you can't even take him seriously. And Paul George, that contract is one of the worst in the league. Unless he returns to like 90% of what Paul George is, that's one of the worst contracts in the league. So it doesn't look good for Philly. The East sucks, but like I don't see them doing anything in the playoffs against multiple teams, honestly.
Max, you were high on this team last year. I know you
Run
remember.
it back.
I
honestly think again, and I know injuries are the biggest.
My dumbest take. We wasted time on saying it.
I still stand. You like punting, and I don't like punting. I don't like punting 10 games in the season. And I still stand on
got the VJ Edgecombe.
I still stand on this team if it's healthy. If it's healthy, obviously health is the biggest concern. The East is open. The East is open. And like you said, you have arguably the best player in the East when healthy. So this team, we'll talk about it later, but I think this team has tons of potential. But again, the big question mark and the looming cloud over it is health and just making sure guys are ready to go. So I think this team has enough star power. Obviously, I like VJ Edgecombe coming in here. Have experience off the bench. Obviously, it's not very good. No one's really playing Kyle Lowry or Andre Drummond. Kelly Oubre is still on the team. Like, they would have to make a move at the deadline or something, but they don't have much assets. The Jared McCain injury, I think, hurts a lot more than people think. But I do like Philly this year if they can stay healthy and put it together. I think this is the kind of year they've been looking for as far as how wide open the East is. But they have to be one of the teams.
They're not making the finals. I'm not gonna lie. Even if they stay healthy, they're not making the finals.
I'm just saying they keep pushing. Just one more series after another. Huh?
They're probably still gonna lose in the second round just because their team is not like good, actually, though. Like
Joel Embiid will put Evan Mobley in the rim. I don't want to hear that shit, bro.
I mean, New York will have no answer for Joel Embiid. New York has no answer.
That's not true. Mitch Robinson is their answer for Joel Embiid.
They beat Joel Embiid 2 years ago.
Did Joel Embiid injure him last series? Didn't he
Mitch Robinson locked him up.
Embiid had like one of his worst games of his playoff career in that series against the Knicks. Like that game 5, I think it was, and Maxey saved him. Like,
but no,
Maxey saved him. Joel Embiid was like,
no, Maxey had like 45 in that game.
He was immaculate in the minutes that he played. When he was not on the court, the 76ers were horrible.
in this specific game, that game 5 or whatever it was, he had like 9 turnovers. He shot like 35%. It was horrible. Maxey hit like a 3 from half court, like a miraculous 3 to like bring them back. That's always the Embiid excuse. It's always something. Like
he had half a face. He couldn't smile.
Why is it always something with him when it gets to the playoff? That's why I can't be high on him. He's never healthy. Like he always has an excuse going to the playoff. I feel like he low-key is just gonna like he'll find a way to get an excuse. Like if he doesn't have him going, it'll be something. Like he'll go out, he'll jump off his balcony or something into the pool to like injure his leg.
You really need to read the article that came out about him.
Amar Stoudemire.
The article that came out about him this year was great, and it was great insight into his mindset and his mental health and what he's had to deal with since he came to the Sixers.
Man, I don't care about that like that painful nonsense about.
That piece.
I consume unbiased media. I don't care about and I know the person he hired to write that article. Yeah, no,
I hear this crazy.
But he hired a person to write an article on it. He has put out these pieces before. We don't forget that hit piece he put out on Jokic and Giannis a few years ago. Like after the same day he ducked playing Jokic. Like we don't forget that. Nah, I hate Joel Embiid genuinely.
Even if he is able to stay healthy, I think this roster is not good enough. Like again, not enough ball handling, playmaking for me. They don't have a backup. They don't have a starting power forward. Their bench is not great. Like it's just not. Like, wing defense not great. Like Paul George is their best wing defender.
Yeah, McCain injured again too.
Yeah, it's not great for the Sixers, but I do think they can be a team that win games in the regular season for sure though, because it's the East. Next up is
Luka's
Charlotte
going
Hornets.
stupid.
Who?
Luka is going stupid.
The Hornets. All right, Katie, I'm gonna start with you again, okay? Because this is a team you watch very much. Now, my question for the Hornets. Do you believe that LaMelo Ball is the Hornets franchise player?
Yes.
Are you going to expand on that? Like, why?
It doesn't need expanding on.
Hey, yo.
Can you explain why you think he's the Hornets franchise player, despite missing?
It doesn't need explaining.
Despite missing like 40 games every single year, despite taking terrible shots, despite not playing defense. Can you please?
Their best player by far.
Yeah, can you explain?
He's the greatest player in Hornets history.
That's not true at all.
Whoa.
That's not true whatsoever.
Clears Kemba.
I don't know. Is Kemba? I mean, sure. I don't know. He doesn't clear Kemba, but Sure. I don't know where you got that from. But can you explain why you think he's a franchise player? Again,
It doesn't need explaining. You ask me a different question.
I don't know. I don't know what else you want me to ask you because it's definitely not clear. I think that this is probably close to a make or break year for LaMelo with the Hornets. Honestly, he received a big contract from this team and his organization, and he has not developed or he has not delivered on the contract that he was given whatsoever. He hasn't been what a model franchise player will look like in terms of stuff on the court. Won't even talk about stuff off the court, but I don't know. He can't stay healthy. He doesn't have good habits. Like he doesn't take great shots. He doesn't have great tendencies. He's not like gonna play great defense on a night-to-night basis, and they haven't offered him much help whatsoever. But at some point, I do think he needs to show that he's a franchise player because I don't think he has to this point. He has a lot of talent. He's he's a really great shooter, a really great passer, but he hasn't been able to put it all together. And I think that sooner rather than later, he's going to have to actually show this. The Hornets upgrade their roster this year, undoubtedly. They upgrade their roster. They got Colin Sexton. I like that draft class a lot. The team is better. They should be better offensively. He needs to stay healthy, and he needs to show improvements with his efficiency, with his shot selection, and his overall impact on this team. I think I don't think he's proved to be a franchise player. If I had to really pick, I would say no. I actually don't think he's like LaMelo is not going to be the best player on the championship team. If we talk about franchise player in the aspects, he's not going to be. I think that's pretty clear now, and I don't think KD would disagree with that.
I don't. I mean that's not how I define franchise player.
Okay.
At all.
Okay. What makes you a franchise player?
If you can be the face of a franchise for like extended period of time, if a team can say this is our guy and be competitive for X amount of years, 6, 7, 8 years, you're a franchise guy.
I don't think they're competitive.
I don't think LaMelo. I don't think LaMelo is a player that is going to lead you to the playoffs year in, year out. I don't think he is.
That's crazy. That he has not had rosters capable of making the playoffs.
Even if he has, though, his tendencies aren't because the roster is terrible. He's not going to be
his tendencies would not hold back his team from making the playoffs if he had a capable playoff roster. They just wouldn't.
I'm not sure that, but I'm not sure that if a team was going to make the playoffs with him on it consistently, there might need to be a player that's also.
He makes the same amount of money as Darius Garland. Would the Cavs make the playoffs with LaMelo?
There's two players on the Cavs that is better than Darius Garland.
Okay,
that's my point. Like, my point is, if a team is making the playoffs with LaMelo Ball on it, there's probably a player that's going to be on the team better than him. I think.
No, that's not like it has to be the case type of thing. Because Cade just made the playoffs with the Pistons, and LaMelo and Cade are at the same level. So it's like that. True.
But go ahead.
That's crazy.
I think Cade's better.
I have LaMelo better slightly right now than Cade, just because he can do more off ball. But the point is, one, coaching. The Pistons have better coaching, and two, they just had a better roster around Cade. Like. The thing you can say about LaMelo is health. Like if you're gonna say health, okay, I mean you can't really say anything. You better keep that same exact energy for guys like Darius Garland who are never healthy come playoff time.
I did describe Darius Garland as a franchise player, and K has made the playoffs one time.
Saying.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Cade has made the playoffs one time. He's only had a roster to make the playoffs once in his career. That's the point.
That's
like
true.
You're putting so much emphasis on this, like as if these guys have to lead teams to the playoffs at 23, 20. LaMelo just turned 24 years old. Like the expectation is not that you're leading teams to the playoffs at this age. That's an expectation for the Lucas, like the guys who were Like it's not. You're not a franchise player. You are a superstar.
Can LaMelo grow into that? Is my question. Like, can he grow into that?
LaMelo already is that. That's the thing. Like he already is capable of that. He does not have the rosters.
I don't think he's a player right now that can consistently lead you to playoff.
If he's healthy, he absolutely can. Absolutely
He's their
can.
best player, bro. I don't know if he's a franchise player. I know he's the best player.
As Latif defines it, he's definitely not a franchise.
He's had a roster slightly better than this roster to make the playoffs. Well, play in. He can make the play in the style that he plays. He's made pretty much, backpack the team to the play in twice. We've seen that happen before with a slightly better roster.
They should be in the play in this year. Yes or no?
They should be if he's healthy.
I have them the 10 seed, yeah. But they don't have a center. Like that's a major issue that they have to solve. Moussa Diabate is not a starting center in the NBA.
That's true. I agree.
But I have them as the 10 seed.
Oh, I don't think I just think he's the best player. I don't think he's a franchise player.
I would agree with that as well, but I'm not gonna go. I don't care about it.
I think he could be. I think there's potential for him. He's not far off. It's not like it's a giant chasm. Like it's one or two breaks and he's a franchise player. Or he could be.
Is Tyrese Halliburton a franchise player?
Tyrese Halliburton is much better than Melo, bro. I just don't know.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's not.
Much. One, he's not better, period. Two, much better is absolutely nuts. Much better is absolutely nuts.
He doubled down.
I can absolutely pull up receipts of Latif saying LaMelo's better too. So that I know I have receipts of
that. That was a long time ago, bro.
Probably not much, to be honest. You flipped on Tyrese Halliburton this season. Like, but
no. He flipped on Tyrese Halliburton from Eastern Conference Finals to Finals. I watched him in real time flip on him in 4 games.
Like that's really when it was. Like it was not before that. He was not a Tyrese Halliburton guy. He was
I'm not a Tyrese Halliburton guy now.
That statement you just made saying he's way better than Melo, you definitely are. Like there's no way.
I'm actually a LaMelo guy. I just want more from the kid. I don't know. I want him to stay on the court.
No, I mean what you want has nothing to do with how you evaluate him as a player. That's like irrelevant. You just said that Tyrese Halliburton is much better than LaMelo Ball. That's crazy. That's legitimately crazy.
Doesn't turn the ball over.
And he has a way better way better offensive system. Way better coach. Like that, you can't just ignore all of these extra factors.
Tyrese Halliburton has been turnover averse his entire life, bro. That's how he plays. If
the bare minimum to be a good a top point guard was just don't turn the ball over, then Tyus Jones, you would have Tyus Jones way higher than you currently have him, and you are low on Tyus Jones.
Yeah,
I don't even know what we're doing.
He obviously does more than that. But I don't want to get into a LaMelo and Tyrese Halliburton debate because that's not even a debate anyone should be having in 2025 right now. It's just not.
Yeah, I agree. Especially after that Achilles tear, like Halliburton's cooked. If we're being honest, he will not be able to move on the floor. He was already a defensive liability. He's probably going to be the worst defender in the NBA. That plays like 5 minutes.
He's still pretty young, and I mean, his game isn't predicated off like any type of great athleticism. He'll be fine.
But defense, it's going to be cooked. He was already a cooked defender with a torn Achilles. It's going to be atrocious, like Garland level, probably.
All right, Wizards. Our last team in the East to talk about, and then we're going to get to stock up, stock down, other topics. Are you confident in any part of the Wizards young core? Is my question.
I'm confident in about. I'm confident in one player for sure, and he hasn't played a minute of NBA basketball yet, and that's Trey Johnson. Everybody else is still a wait and see. I think Star obviously has upside. Whether he gets there or not, who knows? I think Bilal's a solid player, a lot to be desired on offense. Keyshawn George. I think he should be starting. He could be a statement for this team. Everybody else either is old or not enticing enough. Like Middleton and CJ McCollum, they're not going to be there past trade deadline. Corey Kispert most likely isn't going to be there past trade deadline. So it's going to be pretty much the whole young core and then adding a top pick in next year's draft to go along with their core, and then they'll really compete. They're pretty much 2 years away with one of those years, bringing in a top prospect. But I'm only really confident in Trey Johnson. Whether that's biased or not, who really cares? But everybody else doesn't they haven't shown a lot to be super excited about.
Yeah, I think I'm most confident in probably Trey Johnson, followed by Keyshawn George. I almost said Keontae. My God, my that hurts me still to this day. And then probably Sar defensively, and then after that it's pretty bleak. But Max, are you confident in any part of the Wizards core?
I mean, if I was a Wizards fan, I'd be semi-excited just about the young core in general. I like Bub Carrington coming out of the draft. He was fine last year. I think obviously Bilal Coulibaly had his hype. I think it's just literally it is a year where you can see what you have. You have enough experience with K-Mid and CJ McCollum to kind of help facilitate for the younger guys. Young guys can still get their shots. Huh?
I never heard that before. I'm going to start saying that. K-Mid.
You've never heard Chris Middleton be referred to as K-Mid?
Nah. I like that.
I think
Garrett
that
Wilson, you called Garrett Wilson G. Willie, which was the first time I heard
feel
that.
like those are pretty common nicknames for him.
G. Willie?
I've heard of G. Willie and K-Mid.
Nah.
Those I feel like those are very common nicknames, I guess. Never mind. I think that obviously Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum will get whatever 18, 20 points a game, more than that. And I think they'll be able to help kind of take the pressure off the young guys. But at this point in time, if I'm a Wizards fan, you can kind of see what you got with Coulibaly, with George, with Carrington, Sar. Obviously, Trey Johnson will get his. So I think you really need a point guard, I guess. Bub can do his thing, but I think you really need a table setting point guard to kind of help set all these guys up. But there will be a lot of opportunity to kind of let these guys do their thing. What point guards are on the team? I'm forgetting.
Katie, I just want to let you know when you added me all year about LaMelo, I'm going to say that Tyrese isn't playing. So just say yourself time. Just say yourself time this year. When you're adding me all year, with the quotation marks, way better than Holly or some shit like that. He's not playing, so just don't do that. Let's wait till 2026, 2027. We don't got to do it this year.
Where you're wrong is you think I'm at you. I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say, nigga said Tyrese Halliburton is way better than him. By the way, and that's gonna be my line every single time. I promise you.
Yeah, just say your text. He's not even playing this year. Give it up. All right, let's talk about some players that are playing this year.
I'm gonna talk about the Wizards.
Oh yeah, I mean, go ahead. What you want to say?
It's one player I'm excited to watch, Cam Whitmore. He finally go get a chance. Hey, he can he's an electric scorer on little amount of dribbles. He can shoot, he can slash in transition. He will bliss and just dunk on people. So I'm excited to see what he can do actually having a shot. Nobody else on the roster I'm excited about. So yeah, that's it.
All right, stock up, stock down. I'm going to give you a player, and you tell me if their stock is up or down going into next year. Eastern Conference edition. We're going to do teams at first, but I decided to change it to players. First player up, coincidentally, LaMelo Ball.
Stock up. They got a real culture now.
Max?
I just think stock up for the only fact that they have I think he's got a better situation around him.
Katie?
You said up.
Yeah. Stock up.
You had to ask that.
They got I think the roster is better, although they need a center, and I think he's going to be better. So.
I'll say stock up, but it is completely contingent on his health. The roster is better, but he got to stay healthy. Brandon Miller also has to stay healthy. He needs to get his efficiency higher too. Next player is going to be Scotty Barnes.
Stock down.
Stock staying the same.
That was an option.
That's what I'm going with.
Stock is definitely down, especially now that I got CMB. Uh, is down for sure.
I'm gonna say stock down. I think his overall impact after his first 2 years has just pretty much went down. I think he's miscast right now as like a primary initiator. He needs to be a ancillary piece glue guy, and that's how much he'll thrive. He is not. He shouldn't be your first or second option on offense. He shouldn't be your first or second best. Well, it depends, but yeah, I don't think he's being utilized correctly. So I'm gonna say stock down. Next player, his teammate, Brandon Ingram.
Stock stay the same.
Stock up. He's healthy. Stock up. He's healthy. I think he actually be able to do more.
I'm gonna say stock down just because the roster, like it's not him, it's the roster around him that I think will probably hold him back, to be honest. Like the spacing won't be there. Yeah, it's just not the roster itself isn't good.
I'm gonna say stock down. If he's trying to like actually show he can contribute to winning, I don't think he went to a situation that is good for him to do so. Like should show that he's like an actual player that contributes to winning consistently. He didn't go to a
I don't
place where
think I think all he wanted was to get paid. He got paid. He chilling.
I agree with that, but I don't think Brandon Ingram is like some type of player that really contributes to winning. I really don't. He's not a great defender. He can score and pass, but like I don't know. He's not. He doesn't sound like someone that's like overtly conducive to winning. I don't know. Next player, Jaylen Brown. When he comes back from injury, he'll have the year to himself to put up 30 points per game. I guess. Stock up or stock down, Jaylen Brown.
It's gonna be a big stock up, just for what you said. Overarching media / internet, Twitter, they're gonna see him averaging 28 points per game on average efficiency. It's like, oh look, they got 2 number ones, blah blah blah. When in reality, it's just a situation opportunity, and so it's a fake stock up.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said.
A fake stock up. Yeah. Stock up, his production will be up.
Stock up because his production will be up.
Yes.
I think stock down. This year might actually expose some very obvious. Yeah, I think that the year will expose some very obvious weaknesses for Jaylen Brown. And I think his stock has been down pretty much over the last year and a half, anyways. Obviously, he won a Finals MVP, but last year he took a step back in basically every single metric and number, and he just wasn't nearly as good. So I think the stock is down.
I think he's gonna have like that Mikal Bridges fake like Nets type of season where it's like it's not real and it will never matter for like winning anything like relevant, but I think he's gonna have the opportunity to just get shots up. So
next player is Trae Young. Stock up or stock down?
Stock up, just because he's playing for another contract. He's religiously top of the league in scoring and assists. Make or break season for him, not the Hawks. So everything is probably pretty much lining up for him to literally, have his stock go up. So yeah, I'm gonna say stock up.
yeah, I agree. Stock up. This is like we were just talking about Pacers like offensive system around Halliburton. In terms of a front court, this is probably the greatest front court any primary ball handling, like pick and roll point guard could ever ask for. You have a pick and pop center who's a legit pick and pop center, like not some type of like, oh, he can maybe hit shots. Like no, Porzingis is probably one of the greatest all time at pick and pop. And then you have a pick and roll 4 in Jalen Johnson who can make out the short roll, can catch lobs and finish through traffic, can navigate traffic. Like it's just an ideal world. You can run pick and roll with either of them. You can run horns out of it. It's an ideal world for Trae Young with his front court. So for that, I think stock up.
You taking them on the Clippers?
What do you mean? Like, in terms of front court, and for era, I take the Clippers. Yeah. For era, I'd take the Clippers because the shooting wasn't big back then. It was like, and that Lob City was nuts. But if this were the better KP, I'd take the Hawks, but it's kind of like a more washed KP. So
Max, Trae Young.
You're on mute.
Stock up on Trae Young. I said the Wizards would be fun this year, and I stand by that. I think they'd be a fun team. I think he'll have a good year.
Trae Young. You said the Wizards would be fun?
Wizards, sorry, Hawks. I don't know what I was thinking Wizards for. Yeah, I think Trae Young's in for a big year this year. I think he has a great roster around him from what he's had in the past.
It's tough. I don't think Trae's stock is up around the league just because of how they view him. But I would say it's up just because this roster is the best he's had in his career. So if it's not up, it's a real big problem. Next player, Andrew Nemhart.
stock up. It's he's gonna be featured more in the offense. Carlisle will make sure to feature him more in the offense. Like stuff's gonna be designed for him. He's a competitor. I believe he'll rise to the challenge. So
I feel the same way. I'm pretty much gonna say stock up to anybody that's like getting an increase in minutes and opportunity, because that's just like the baseline level of how people think of players. So probably overall like consensus would probably be his stock is up just because he's probably averaging more points, more assists, whatever the case may be.
I think it's just kind of deceiving with obviously the role. He obviously was playing well in that secondary role last year. But yeah, being more the primary guy this year, I think that he will obviously have better numbers. I think he'll be a better player. I don't think necessarily, but just a larger role.
I'm going to say stock neutral just because I think his opportunity hours is going to go up, but his actual impact on the game will probably go down. I don't think he's going to be able to maintain his defense if he actually continues to get a larger offensive role. He hasn't proven to be a efficient regular season player whatsoever, and it's pretty much been a playoffs for him. So I think actual increase in usage could actually dull his actual overall impact on the game of basketball. It might look cool to fans, like, oh, he's averaging 18, 5 and 5 or whatever, but like his overall impact on the game in terms of a two-way aspect, in terms of efficiency, definitely may teeter. Next player, Josh Giddey.
Stock down.
Down.
How's it down?
I was like, without even talking with like production, like I don't think he's that much good of a player, but like I think his production would arguably be higher for an entire season on the Bulls. So I'll say stock stays the same.
It's down because he got paid, and I have full belief that now that he got paid, foot gonna come off the gas pedal, and yeah, numbers ain't gonna be the same.
I think it's probably either the same or up, honestly, just because he's gonna have a full year without Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan on the team, and so he should have the full opportunity to pretty much play as he wants on his team. He'll have the full reins with Kobe White, and they won't win, but he'll. I'll say it's gonna be the same. I think people are gonna view Josh Giddey the exact same after this year, like pretty much. A few more names. Paul George.
Up. Only way to go but up right now. Gotta believe my guy.
Q. Paul George. Stock up or down.
Muted Q.
Yeah, I just realized that DeAndre.
For the sake of my mans, I'm gonna say stock up. Gots to be. We not going out like that. But if we did go out like that, at least we got that bread. We'll stock up though.
I mean, I think that's a good way to look at it, Max. It's only one way, but up. I'm gonna say down though. He's clearly regressing. He's on one of the contracts in the NBA.
Bro, stop talking about a future Hall of Famer like that, bro.
They let anybody in the Hall of Fame, but yeah, I'm gonna say stock down.
Yeah, he said that like Paul George don't belong there. What is this? Kind of crazy.
I mean, do y'all think? Yeah, so it's Paul George is like
a lock Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Is he top 75?
Top 75. I'm gonna tell you right now. And you and KD hate when I do this. Yeah. I love this one person. I'm gonna tell you right now. Blind resume. Put a Paul George blind resume with Reggie fucking Miller and tell me who should be top 75. Just do that for me. Do that right now for me.
Off pure accolades, yeah. Paul George, accolade wise, Paul George is a stamped Hall of Famer, like that. And
put his resume next to Carmelo Anthony's. Carmelo Anthony was the top. Put his resume next to Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo. All right, anyways.
I mean, Carmelo definitely had a longer career. I think that's what Carmelo has, not like longer career of being like an all-star tier player. But yeah, I mean, Paul George, there's definitely guys you could take out the top 75 for him. If that injury honestly kind of fried him.
Ring aside, and I understand the ring is very important. Finals MVP is very, very important. His resume, Paul Pierce's. Nobody's not going to tell me that those careers is better than Paul George.
Paul George is obviously better. Last person for stock up, stock down, Bam Adebayo.
Stock neutral.
We all the way up.
I'm gonna say he's not going to go down because I don't think he got worse of a player. But
Angel Wilson just won Finals MVP. That's his woman. It's going. He's the
worst player in the relationship.
I'll go up. Stock up.
You wouldn't like being a stay-at-home husband? Said I'd be cool with it. Go make that money.
Wilson.
We going to. She a Hall of Famer. We claim that. We accept that 100%.
Her sport ever.
Stock is up.
Stock up. I like Bam and his opportunity. Huh? Well, you just
let him answer. Dang.
You just complained about how much of an impact Tyler Hero is leaving behind, which leaves a lot of room for Bam to kind of grab those minutes. Bam will do his thing. No one's gonna be doing anything in Miami. That team is terrible. Bam, sorry, not what I meant. Production. Bam will definitely be. Bam should be traded. I need Bam to ball out so they can trade him somewhere.
Bam's stock is down because he's wasting away on the Miami Heat. Like he's a very good player that's not going to be ever competing for anything because he's on the Heat. That's why his stock is down. And he's
been to 2 NBA Finals.
Okay, bro. Okay, who really cares? Like, nobody.
What
cares.
You mean? Who cares?
Hey, you be picking and choosing.
Don't ever complain to be a bronze fan again after you just said that.
Did Jimmy make the finals or did Bam make the? Who are we giving credit for making these finals, bro?
What you mean? But in the 2020 Eastern Conference Finals, Bam led the team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He led them in everything.
That was 3 years ago now.
How many finals has Mobley made?
That's
shut the fuck up. Yeah, shut the fuck up. I ain't trying to hear shit. Yeah.
Stock is down.
That's what we doing.
I ain't trying to hear. I ain't trying to hear shit.
His stock is down because he's wasting away on the Miami Heat. He's also his offensive efficiency is like his scoring has went down over the last 2 seasons, both years, because he's miscast as a first or second option. I don't really think he can be he shouldn't be that. Honestly, he should not. But yeah, I think he's getting wasted on the Heat.
He can be a second option. He just has to have a good enough first option. Like if he had Luka, Bam could be the second option for sure.
Sure, I really don't like his offensive process sometimes. But I think he's in a miscast role on a team that's not really competing for anything. So his stock is down. I think that's very good. That's good. That's good logic. All right, let's just move on to the standings. Standings predictions. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to go we should probably go to 15-1, huh?
Yep.
And then we each say who we have at 15 and then move on. All right. At 15, I have the Nets.
Wizards.
I guess, bro.
I got more faith in Jordy Fernandez.
Right? I'm not like Wizards roster is better though. What? Maybe not. I don't know.
It is actually. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a wash. It's a wash.
Caesar Color and Chris Middleton and slightly puts them over. I ain't gonna lie.
14, I have the Wizards.
Same.
Nets.
Okay. 13, I have the Bulls.
Same.
Yep.
12, I had the Celtics.
Raptors.
Hornets.
I have the Celtics 11.
Yo, bro, you trolling.
No,
I
I'm
have
not
the
joking.
Celtics 11. I don't have them making the play-in.
Me either.
Yeah,
The Celtics
yeah,
roster is
yeah.
awful. And I really they should not be competing. So I'm just going to assume they don't compete. 11, I have the
They're
Hornets.
still better than the Raptors.
11, I have Miami.
11
Yo,
out of the Celtics.
11 Miami,
Yeah.
Max? What?
That's crazy.
Sorry.
That's crazy.
No, their
That's so
roster's
crazy.
good. Their
They
roster's
keep playing
good.
every year. I just not believing in them this year.
Eric Spoelstra is too good of a coach. Roster's too good for
Understand. This is like the Indianapolis Colts take Q. I get it.
Yeah, it's going to age that badly, Max. I'm not going to lie.
It's fine.
11, I got the Hornets. 10, I have the Raptors.
I have the
Okay.
Hornets 10.
I have Boston.
Okay, I guess. 9, I have the Heat.
Miami.
Pacers.
Toronto.
I guess.
You got Toronto over. Yo.
I told you I believe in a little bit. A little bit.
Crazy.
A little bit.
At 8, I have the Milwaukee Bucks.
Pacers.
Heat.
I got Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think Giannis and shooters is going to be good enough. I mean, Miles Turner is a good addition too. Their guard play is
You
going to be
saying
terrible.
that, but you got them low.
I mean, yeah. At 7, though, I have the Pacers.
This
I have
one
Indiana at 7.
I got a flip.
Who you got?
Pistons.
Who you got at 7, Q?
The Bucks.
Okay.
Got the Pacers at 8.
At 6, I have the Pistons.
Sixers.
Max,
Pistons.
Atlanta.
that would be
That's
probably
kind of crazy.
Yep, that would be a disappointment. At 5, I had the Sixers.
This is where I have Atlanta.
5.
This is where I have the Hawks.
I have Detroit. I think these guys are interchangeable. I have an arrow going to both, but
At 4, I have the Hawks.
Sixers.
Sixers.
Bucks.
Bucks. That's hey. Oh, was that
They
gonna
have
be
the best player. They have the best player in the Eastern Conference.
I understand that, but they also don't have any guard play, any defense. Like it's going to be bad. The roster is awful. Like,
I don't
Dame
think the roster. I don't think the roster is awful.
Dame was very good for him last year when he played.
Yeah, but Miles Turner is a great pickup.
True. At 4, I have the Hawks. I think I already said that. At 3, I have the Magic.
Oh yeah, I got
Or
Orlando.
the Magic.
Yep.
At 2, I got the Cavaliers.
New York.
I hate you.
Huh?
You got the Cavs.
I hate you. I have the Cavs at 2 as well.
I think Darius Garland's injury can hinder them a little bit. I think they also will try to manage their health a little bit better this year, and maybe not like go, balls to the wall in the regular season. At number 1, I obviously had the Knicks.
Yeah, Knicks. Yo, it get late. You start saying crazy stuff. You're talking
Yeah,
about
you said who? You said
I got
who?
I got Cleveland one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think Mobley took a leap, but Garland, I think, was a very, very important part of why they were so good last year. He was able to lead their bench units amazingly last year. Was really the captain of their offense, honestly. So him being down for a second could hinder them a bit. We got to see how crucial the injury is, how long he's out. But that is going to do it for our Eastern Conference preview. It's one of our longer videos, but we had to do it because NBA season is coming up. We'll probably release some segments from this video in shorter videos with interesting teams, interesting topics. But tomorrow we're doing the West, so you'll probably see that pretty soon. Again, if you made it this far, I doubt you did. Comment your answer to our question for your team in the comments. Follow us on our social media platforms and subscribe to the channel. and we are out.